Again, why does it feel so hard to breathe? Why does it feel so hard to breathe? So hard to breathe. Never found, but these voices bring me to my knees. Again, why do you waste your light on me? Again, feeling the ground collapse on me.
Way too many faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem
myself. I'm cold, steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said, don't suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. I'm gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Kinda cold-blooded, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and it feels so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I have. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon.
still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
Hello, hello, my friends. It's that time of the week again. Some say it's the best time of the week. We call it Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Actually, did you know, F. Dot, the word on the street? I just got back from the City Hall meeting. We are actually renaming Tuesday to NECC Day. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
The law just passed.
Wow, that's crazy. We've got some good games tonight, though. 4 trials going on. We're
for
like all the
NECC
way
Day.
into the deep end, into our NECC world. So I'm very excited to catch out what's going on here. I mean, 2 teams off rip. MSU Maroon going head-to-head against Kennesaw State's Ascend. So already excited. Should see what's going on.
That's right, Division 2 and Division 4 for today. For Marvel Rivals, we get to see which of these 2 teams can rock it out on top. We got ourselves an MSU Maroon side, Wolf, Neo Leo, Ajax, Dark, Fearless Reed, and Dad Positive, all going up against Kennesaw State Ascend with T-Man, Haresh, Spooky Pete 22. That might be my contender of the day for the best name. Night Miner, Skull, and ARH? R? I don't know.
ARH 13.
ARH.
Yes. Hootie hoo.
Arr.
Kennesaw State coming through here. Very, very fun. Let's see where they all wind up here. I don't know. I'm going to go, honestly, Dark. Classic.
Okay.
Dark.
Nah, you can't go wrong with my good old friend Spooky Pete 22. That's the best name I've ever heard. I'm going to name my future kid Spooky Pete 22.
Nice.
Thank you.
That's the best.
I've
that's
already
the most yes
stunlocked
end I'm
him
giving
twice.
you. That's
Thank
the most
you.
yes end I'm giving you. That's
I
it.
appreciate it. I've already stunlocked F. Dot twice today. We are not even 2 minutes into the stream. We're just about ready for game number 1 momentarily. We've had a lot of changes when it comes to the meta of Marvel Rivals. I think even since we were last on this broadcast, but assuming that Black Cat is not available here, there's still a lot of changes when it comes to the neutral game that we have to be on the lookout for, and obviously the players do too.
I think also one of the other big things, neutral game definitely one of the large focuses. It's been a minute, but we've definitely seen some of the changes with respect to the 30% ult thing. But where my mind is at for sure, tenacity. Characters like Rogue and Thing have definitely gotten shaken up a little bit. Basically, quick and dirty, 6 CCs, 7 seconds, all of a sudden you're getting less effective crowd control. If you get crowd control too much after that, boom, you ain't getting crowd controlled. So when you think about characters with 1 off stun, who cares? But Rogue, who's flip kicking you, pulling you in, grabbing you, pushing you down, knocking you around, those start to build up relatively quickly. Thing comes around, knocks you up, ults, all of a sudden, we're in trouble. So definitely something to start thinking. I'm expecting to see a little bit less Rogue as a result of the tenacity change. But Hell's Heaven is where we're going. Spin the wheel, and here we are.
That's right, Hell's Heaven. I would say for the tenacity changes, depending on which team can benefit from it the least, this is not the place you want to go to. Early fights always start off with a major snowball. It's usually down, at least before these changes, who would win that first fight usually came out as the victor. In recent matches, usually there's more of a second chance comeback mechanic because of those CC changes where you're not able to spawn push as effectively as before. But coming to the bans now, we do get to see the Vanpool Reserve. Nothing too wild so far, Mr. Dot. I'm expecting maybe to see a lot more bans targeted towards heroes that aren't CC related.
Sure. But as far as where we're at right now, the Smelsa, she's gotten a big chunk taken out of her, but still a little spooky, just a whole lot of maneuverability. Going from 2 seconds to 4 seconds on the dash, very noticeable. And I wasn't sure if she'd still be here, but she is. And I ain't offended. Gambit on the other side, also just kind of tried and true. And the Daredevil. I mean, the designated driver is still out for blood, still out of control. And that's one of the bigger things is that right now, it's always spooky to kind of like say which meta we're in, but Dive is alive.
Dive is always alive, man. Daredevil's so good for information control, especially if we start off on Eldritch Monument. You can hide in so many nooks and crannies inside the lava base that you can find all the info in the world that you need. The Jeff Reserve, I think, is interesting here, too. We see this a lot on Dominations. You have the long-range heals. Again, I'm thinking Eldritch Monument. I'm thinking more or less Frozen Airfield. That can be great to help out with the Jeff. But it's his ultimate that can completely control an entire... Oh, hello. It's my partner. They promised they would throw a burger at me. They did not throw it. I'm not going to show... Oh! Close enough. Love you too. But there we go.
I support this.
The only bad thing about this is that there's no Wenzels in here. I need Wenzels, dang it!
Real quick, the Thor and the Venom being banned out. Keg gets burgers, but no burgers for the dive tanks. So again, dive is alive, teams are aware, and they do not want to facilitate that. Ultimately, it leaves which we're looking at a Hulk who also Hulk, ult, juggle, nyet. Tenacity changes. Rogue, W, push, nyet. Tenacity changes. So definitely something to start thinking about. And as we zoom out and take a look at our squads here, you can see that there's not too much dive, a little bit of poke. The old Hella Namor classic. I do see the magic. Unsure if we'll stick to it. It'll be trouble.
It really comes down to if Nightminer finds viability on this Namor.
Almost as often as you failed.
Yeah, the team up definitely real strong with Namor and Hela, but we're going to go into the Phoenix instead for KSU, so we'll see how it rattles out.
I like this, and I think you had a pretty good pulse on what we can expect to see from these two teams. You have yourself some minor dive potential off the hands of the Magic from MSU Maroon. I'm looking at the double Phoenix for the poke. That Angela, to me, is the biggest wild card. If we can see T-Man divide out that backside, MSU Maroon's strategist having a horrible time going into this, this could very well work out well for Kennesaw State. But if it doesn't off this first team fight, FDOT, we're looking at Angela going to swap for a different Vanguard.
A lot of times it's really difficult to retake this point in particular, some of the others in this map selection as well. So some of the trickery coming through with the portal, definitely a good look here from Maroon, but I like the idea. Not sure if I'm going to like the execution as Kennesaw State pretty staunchly on the point at the moment, and Namor going to town.
Namor is such a great anti-dive option, but you have to make sure you don't get overwhelmed with the Monstros and, of course, your default attack. Things are looking good. Kennesaw State winning these opening fights, forcing away MSU Maroon not only to stagger, but off the point entirely. This is working out so well for this team.
For Kennesaw, yeah, Maroon tried to get cute, and, well, they are not the belle of the ball. Instead, Spooky Pete on the new Phoenix skin, certainly letting their shots be known, but Nightminer on the Namor didn't need the Hela team up, and I agree with that. I think that Namor is strong enough to stand on his own. I'm not upset with picking Namor off rip. I don't think he's an answer character, but he does excel against the dive, and Ajax on that Phoenix definitely got smacked up as a result.
I like the idea that you are up against the Namor, but you double down on the dive and swap into a Wolverine pick. I really like this. Because Eldritch is so large, you can avoid the Monstros as long as you're playing off angles, which the Wolverine normally will do. So you're looking to maybe target the midline, maybe the backline to isolate and take down a power player. But again, it comes down to whether or not we can see this Namor get overwhelmed.
I'll be honest with you, I do not see the vision for the Wolverine. Now, MSU Maroon has been able to retake the point, but that's largely because of a bad fall from R13. Just not what we wanted to see, kind of a haphazard casualty, and as a result, one healer down, everything kind of given the other direction. We'll hear Neo pop the ult and start walking towards Kennesaw State, getting aggressive, and it's all MSU, all 6 players down for Kennesaw, 40% and climbing.
Yeah, and having the retake now, I'm expecting T-Man again to maybe go for a Vanguard swap. Opts not to do so, is close to Heaven's Retribution. 97% may opt for the ult before the swap. 3 ults, though, available for Kennesaw until T-Man gets his. I'm expecting Horn of Proteus as an initiation tool. Eternal Bond will be there directly on top. But right outside spawn, that's going to be a hard sell.
Beautiful kill here by Ajax. Just absolutely where you want to be. Take out one of the healers, and the rest is going to basically fall down after the fact. You know, I'm going to echo what you were talking about, Keg. I do not like this front line. And you know what? I use front line lightly. We've got a Deadpool on Vanguard.
Kind of a line.
And we've got the Angela. Nobody's really standing out of anybody, but you do have the long-range poke characters in the Phoenix and the Namor who want to play up and down. So you're basically playing front to back with no tanks. Not a
Damage
great look.
output is there. You just don't have shields to help mitigate the damage from MSU Maroon. Portal's out, though, directly on top, just in the nick of time. Overtime is out now. These shields, I think, will be a blessing for T-Man in disguise. It should work out well, but MSU Maroon says, nah, dude. I'm going to make sure we can melt you down once again. One player's available. I don't think they're anywhere near the spawn. MSU Maroon, a wonderful comeback off that first fight, takes Eldritch Monument.
Big misplays from Kennesaw State Ascend here, and not necessarily on the dance floor, but on the outside, trying to think about what moves to prove. Like, T-Man now making the swap over to the Doctor Strange, definitely the right look. I'm not even asking necessarily for a shield tank, although we'll take one, and I do not mind the Strongo. But we had the W Key Warrior of Vanpool, and Angela, who, I'm not going to say she's a damage dealer in Vanguard clothes, but she's a damage dealer in Vanguard clothes, and perhaps more specifically, not on the ground. So you've got these long-range poke characters who kind of need somebody to protect them, and Deadpool's just pressing forward, and the Angela not really in the conversation. She's looking to abduct people. That was the reason why I didn't like the Wolverine pick, but it didn't even matter that Wolverine didn't really do much here, Keg, because there wasn't much that needed to be done. Kennesaw State walked out with one shoe on and their shirt over their head. They really couldn't hit the track at all.
I just like the counter plays that we saw from MSU Maroon, ensuring that the Angela couldn't find that viability. Going down to the front line, though, Wolf gets in a great, amazing opening pick. I feel bad for the strategists on Kennesaw's side. They have struggled a lot here and really no fall through their own. MSU Maroon have been prioritizing taking down the strategy backline since the very first fight, and now with them staggered out, forced to go into this fight 5v6, you have almost no other choice. Ajax from the back, though. Darkchild is available. Looking for that Eldritch Whirl through the invisible boundary. Could absolutely find so much potential. Banhammer's out, though, from the hands of Neo Leo. Very curious to see what's going to happen next, but again, divided and conquered. No shields on Kennesaw's side. They are not protecting their backline whatsoever.
T-Man here swapping over to Thing to try and deal with this diving magic. And the Wolverine as well. Both characters really depend on that dash. Wolverine here caught up in the ungrounded. And as a result, can't make the move offensively. Has to make it defensively. T-Man able to take down one dive, but not both of them. So MSU Maroon again confirm the point.
Great work overall, and Kennesaw, it's far too early to go for a portal. They'll have to fight for this choke once again. I'm looking at Fearless Reed. I'm expecting It's Jeff to come out here, possibly off of T-Man using clobbering time.
Certainly a look. You always want a little bit of help for that It's Jeff. Low HP for the red team. They've got to find a way back in here.
Could be the start now. Clobbering time is out. Stunned, though. Most of the ult wielders doing so. Wofo does fall. It's Jeff in return, though. Anti-initiation tool all throughout, directly on top. A great way for the counter. Is there going to be any place to spit off? It depends on whether or not the location's moved yet, and the answer seems to be no. There isn't, but the displacement's huge enough for the Kumio to come on out. Unfortunately, R cannot find enough off of it. And now, Agamotto, as soon as Wolf comes back into the fray, could be a great way to solidify this prowess once again. But guess what? There's nobody left around for Kennesaw State. They've all been removed from the point.
T-Man just got to fall here. The quicker he falls down, the better for his team to avoid the stagger. You see 4 players ready to go, but still 6+ for the DPS and the tank. So Kennesaw State just stuck here till at least 75%. Then they'll start moving. We pretty much have one more shot at this for KSU.
Yeah. Curious to see if the portal will come out now. They'd absolutely have the opportunity to do so. Plenty of ultimates at Frey. That's the invisible boundary that could have been used. Not anymore. Dead positive for a double KO. It's what you want to see. And I gotta say, MSU Maroon, again, have been a well-oiled machine. They've been playing this so well. That's game 1.
96%. And with the Deadpool right here, should be enough to disrupt. And it will be. You were right. Game 1.
Wonderful work from MSU Maroon again. I want to give major props to Neo Leo. I think the way he played aggressively on the front line was a big difference maker between themselves and Kennesaw State. Just even comparing the two Deadpools, I don't think mechanically either one of these players were bad by any stretch of the means, but the fact that we just had much more team cohesion come out from MSU Maroon really made a heck of a difference when it comes to a very daunting map like Hell's Heaven.
I mean, this is where I make the medium bucks, because this is all about composition. Kennesaw State got beat in the playbook, not necessarily in the playground. Initially, we saw the T-Man and Haresh playing two frontliners that don't necessarily speak to each other. Then we saw a swap to the Thing, which makes sense, but the stick on the Vanguard Deadpool only makes sense if you're looking to win more, because essentially you've got Deadpool who plays in the enemy's face, and you've got Thing who plays in his own backline, denying the dive. So who's playing in the middle? Who's playing up front? Ain't nobody. So you still kind of have a little bit left to be desired, whereas on the other side, we saw a little bit more anchor tank presence, which allowed that Deadpool to be so aggressive and cause you to clap your hands. So there's always a reason as to why you're allowed to play the way that you are. Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2 played the same game, but they looked drastically different because of the variables around them on the field.
I think you have to give it to adaptability, too, for both of these teams. I think the swap to the Wolverine, although we didn't see him much on the KO feed, really helped put a lot less pressure on Ajax to be the one to initiate fights and allowed them to go for more KO confirms instead, which did help quite a bit when it came to those team fights. But I think sticking to the Namor was just a little too long, even if on paper that could have been the correct solution for how aggressive a team like MSU is. But sometimes it doesn't work that way. And hopefully coming into the next game, we can have some small adjustments come through, maybe less Namor, maybe more counter plays overall. But I'm excited, FDOT.
Definitely excited. Want to see some changes, not necessarily on the damage line, but definitely on that tank line. I don't necessarily think you always need the Magneto and the off tank. That's not always the composition, but you do need someone who's able to stand up in front, especially if you're going to be playing two long-range poke. You've got the hit scan and the near hit scan of Namor. You just need somebody standing in front, whether it's somebody traditional like the Magneto or the Strange, shield-wise, or you can get a little creative. I don't mind seeing the Groot. I don't mind seeing the Emma even. She has a shield. Yeah, she doesn't really. Different conversation. But, like, there are other things you can play there. Angie in the sky, Thing in the back, going to make that really tough to do, and we saw that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we're heading over to our second matchup. It looks like it's going to be Araco or not. Oh, no. Okay, we're going to Eternal Night. Okay. I'm down for this one. It's Convergence. It's probably going to work out well for MSU Maroon when it comes to the domination front. Both these teams are untested when it comes to the convoy line, at least for our matchup here. So if I'm looking at Kennesaw State, I am curious to see which side they're going to be starting on. If they start off on defense, that's probably their best bet to win this matchup, given that they just played domination, they didn't win it out. They can take everything they've learned here and apply it for the first half.
Definitely something to think about. When you're playing defense, you really have to play the reactive game, right? You never want to play reactive, but here you kind of do have to play reactive a little bit. And then, of course, your thought process is going to change once you're defending that convergence point, and then if they go ahead and confirm and you switch to defending the payload, then you've got some different thoughts in mind as well. But as we jump into the P's and B's here, Keg, starting off the same way.
Yep, no changes so far. If I'm MSU Maroon, I'm opting maybe not to go for any wild counter picks. I think team line, everything looked good. I'd just be banning what I want to be comfort banning. But if I'm Kennesaw, I'm target banning as much as I can. The fact that they did not use their reserve is not confident for me. I just hope this next ban works out well for them.
The reserves are less important to me than the picks. If anything, the reserve kind of shows your hand a little bit. Whereas if you're going to play lower down on the tier list, like Maroon was the one playing Magic, rarely does she go ahead and find herself in the ban column. If you do have something like that up your sleeve, if you want to play Storm or something, protecting it just kind of shouts from the rooftops that you're going to play it. So I'm not that upset about a missed protect, but a missed ban is really what raised my eyebrows.
Yeah, I'm thankful that we didn't see a missed ban. I think if you have an option available, you might as well take it, just in case something that you're safe with. Maybe even the Vanpool reserve could have been fine. You don't really lose anything by doing it. Second reserve out is Phoenix. I think that's fine. Final ban here. If I'm Kennesaw, I'm opting for a Magic ban. But
I wouldn't hate it, honestly. Like, get away from the tier list and get onto what terrifies you.
Counterpick.
Look at the cross the way. Counterpick, yeah, absolutely. You're just sitting here and you're able to deny what was really potent for the opposing team game one. I don't really care what the meta is. I care what the meta is here. And we get what we asked for. So, no Magic.
And honestly, at this point, you could ban whatever if you're MSC Maroon. I hate to say it. There was no real standout hero coming from Kennesaw in game one. I get the Daredevil ban. I get the Elsa ban. I don't hate them. That's fine. But if I'm Kennesaw, I'm really looking towards maybe counterplaying a little bit more. I think the Magic ban is the best way to go.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to ban out all of the dive, but now basically what you're telling Maroon is like, y'all want to dive us? Let's see your Venom Blade, bro. Like, this is definitely, Venom's cool, but I don't know about Blade. So definitely something very interesting by trying to ban. I love Blade, but I'm also certifiably insane, so that's a different conversation.
Oh, we know.
Jumping in here, we are going to see some of the less dive heavy stuff. We're going to stick to that. There's that Venom now that it's not banned out here. Kennesaw State brings him out, but looking over at Maroon, completely different approach. Long range poke. It's going to be the Phoenix next to the Namor.
That's right. We did have a Venom ban in game one, right?
Yes, which was Kennesaw State had done their homework. You know, I didn't like the way that they played their game in the playbook towards themselves. I just didn't like their lineup at all. Here with the mag, much better. But they knew what their opponents wanted to do, and they tried to deny the dive.
The fact that we saw a Venom ban, I think, could speak volumes about Team Man's playbook when it comes to which Vanguards he's comfortable with. He's been on Venom. That was banned out. We saw Angela. We saw a thing. They looked okay, but they didn't impact the team a ton. If Team Man's favorite is Venom here, and that's his comfort pick, I think Kennesaw has a very strong showing for this attacking side. Oh, wonderful work early on. Speak of the devil himself. Gets an early KO. That's going to be a big stagger off the hands of MSU Maroon's defense. This team, already coming off super aggressive, looked fantastic in learning their lessons from that first game domination.
Two Vanguards fall, the healer does as well, and she's not even respawned yet at all. So one piece belongs to Kennesaw State, second piece will show up as well. But the portal, Maroon's ready to fight again.
Yep, early portal, nothing wrong with that. MSU Maroon have plenty of time to play for the defense here. Oh, that's unfortunate for Fearless. It's the environment itself working against the Jeff. Still, the heals are out, though. Long range will be helpful. Like this counterplay from Haresh, though. Constantly harassing Fearless Reed, ensuring that this Jeff should not get that same amount of value. Ajax and Darkfall. The attempted counter dive is not going to work with this no more. That's going to be now a Convoy set up and ready to go for Kennesaw's attack.
T-Man's been really powerful, pretty much by himself. Doesn't even need anybody diving next to him. Just disrupting that back line. Getting a couple of smoke downs as well for himself, but largely just making sure that the healers aren't looking at the enemy tanks, which means the Kennesaw is able to just walk in and take down Neo. Wolf swapping over to Emma. We'll see if that changes things, because now she'll be able to turn around and choke slam the Venom instead of just getting bopped.
Yeah, I like how T-Man's playing this upper angle. Everyone at MSU is focusing on him, which inadvertently allows Kennesaw to fast-track their strategist ult even more with the amount of heals. Speaking of the devil, though, once again, that's going to be the invisible boundary out on top of the Abyss. Fearless is going to slap back with the It's Jeff, take down two power players. Don't think... Oh, no, they can reach off stage. Wonderful. That's what you want to see. That's a huge stagger against MS Maroon.
Definitely what you want to be seeing here from R. Great job there. Healers fall, but it does not matter. There are 3 players standing on the cart. Kennesaw State should get about 80% of the way here. Right in front of the door is where Maroon's going to be able to stop them one more time. We've got the Psionic Seduction available and ready here for Wolf, and Dark can combo off of that pretty well, so keep an eye out for the Scream Beam.
Okay. Curious to see what R can find here off of It's Jeff. Just the Venom. Pretty good overall. Ensong Inferno there for the counter. That's what you want to see. Was it worth using Phoenix Ult? That's going to remain to be said. Dark is doing such a great job. I agree with you, F. Things are looking fantastic here from Dark's front. A huge clapback now, swapping up to a much more aggressive poke. Okay.
Full reset. Kennesaw State just full reset. Sit at home, grab a drink, come on back once your tank's up. Night Miner, Spooky Pete, and Haresh have the ults available. Night Miner response ult, but can create some space. Across the way, though, it's going to be the Banhammer onto the healer. Kennesaw State's healer falls down. 1 DPS, 1 tank, and I'll take a healer to go. Ajax on the good side of 2 of them. And Maroon looking a lot better on point number 2 than they did earlier on.
Team got their bearings together. I like these changes that MSU Maroon are bringing out, but Kennesaw State, they have not ran out of their arsenal yet. 3 ults available, soon to be 6. Skulldigger, T-Man, and R are both halfway there. This could work out well. We need to see what this Psionic Seduction holdout is though from Wolvie's side. Everyone is lined up in a funnel up against him. Corner Proteus is available. Maybe looking to counter ult alongside maybe Ajax or maybe Dark once it's brought back forwards. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of other reasons why to keep waiting other than stall.
It's all about numbers. I mean, on the offense, mash Q, baby. It's about time and how many ults you can dish out. On the defensive end, things are very different. You want to find maximum effectiveness. Right here, we're going to see maximum effort as Deadpool goes for the flank, makes himself known, pushes players all the way back to the spawn. And the Phoenix pops up, punishes, and Dark gets another one.
Oh, but the immediate abyss in return. That's so unfortunate. Okay, good trades overall. But again, the Venom's doing his job. He's creating space, and Fearless is out of the fray. Haresh is doing such a good job sending the heals away. What would you rather have in a fight? Oh, Jeff or a Wolverine? I'd rather have my Jeff available.
Big question. How many tanks do they have? How close are we to them? What are the other characters on the field? Trick question. You can never just ask characters in a vacuum. There is no vacuum. We're out here on the battlefield, and MSU Maroon originally had to defend around the 90% mark, now pushed back all the way to 50. And there's Neo popping the ult one more time, but still a lot of nonsense to deal with if we want to see this cart move forward.
Let's see move forwards though. Ensong Inferno will be the start. There is a Loki out now. R has made the change to potentially get another huge ult in the back line once it's ready. Very low on HP though. You really don't see team fights deep in the cemetery of point 2. It's so odd. With 38 seconds left, Kennesaw State have to find a way to get their bearings back together again. Dark has been pulling things out in spades. Wolf is still holding on the Psionic Seduction. Could have been enough time now to bring it not once, but twice over to this last second stall. This is the final fight Kennesaw have at their favor.
16 seconds to go, and we'll see Maroon honestly be the aggressors here, not waiting for Kennesaw State to show up, waits for them to group up, and there's the scream out of the Enna. The answer from Skulldigger as the pillar goes up, Invisible Boundary, strong enough to counteract it, but not strong enough to make the secondary jump into the fight. Wolverine going a little bit nuts, but he gets cracked by the other side, so only one player down, and it will be the Vanguard for Maroon. It's a moment for Kennesaw State to start to walk forward here, Keg, but a couple of players still ready to play defense, and Jeff will be a huge change.
It's Jeff! He's back again, but he only takes out one player. That's my boy, Spooky P22. Can he make it back? He uses Ensong Inferno to prevent his own KO off the stage. That's wild, dude. And it works! Plays for the stall. Meteor M is out. A snipe from Night Miner. That's what I love to see. This is looking good, but look at that yellow timer. It is dwindling, and there's no stopping it. Teammates forced to swap off of his favorite Venom into the Doctor Strange for the portal, and Leo takes down one strategist into the back lines. That's 2 gone. There's no more heals for Kennesaw State. They had to work with what they got. They had to find a way to move the point, but they have no backline, no heals at all, and Dark is there to mow down everybody else and solidify the MSU Maroon. Stop the tracks right there.
Unfortunate for Neo, goes on through. I guess he won, so it's not that big a deal. 109, almost 110 here for Kennesaw State, which is not great. Maroon did a fantastic job on defense. You know, I do want to bring up Wolves' ultimate here. You are absolutely correct. Hey, there's the blade. You're absolutely correct in that Wolf might have been able to get an extra ultimate off had he used it earlier on, but again, on offense, I think you mash those buttons because you're playing for tempo. Your whole thing about playing offense is to move forward. So at all points in time, you're looking for more juice. Whereas when you're on defense, your whole point is to stay where you're at. So if the cart isn't moving forward, you simply don't need more juice. So you just save it for the moment.
I get what you mean, and you're completely right. I wasn't saying Wolf the hero. I was saying Wolf the Emma.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. Like Emma was just holding on to psionic seduction the whole time because
so
they were throwing the opponent down the stairs without their ultimate.
No,
so like it's just
right,
when it
okay.
gets so like listen, I've got the ice pack in the fridge, but if the AC's still working and it's 90 degrees out, but my place feels like 65, I don't need the ice until it hits 110, and then my AC doesn't work anymore. My analogy's a little wild here, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down.
You're poor
they were able to make
though.
a great use. Yeah, for real. I live in Atlanta, man. But a great usage of that ultimate for Wolvo TV. Now on offense, we'll see how Maroon likes to dance.
Gotta say, the biggest benefit that we saw early on, Kennesaw State had impact against MSU Maroon by their high aggressiveness. It was teammate taking the backline control, forcing weird positions off of the strategists on MSU. But once everyone started corralling around this Venom and ensuring that he wouldn't be able to find that same effectiveness, we saw the same Kennesaw State as game 1.
What am I? Invisible? Turning up the heat.
Good defensive position here from Kennesaw State on defense, and already kind of a nice space as far as their positioning is concerned. They're 1-2 steps in front of the main point, which shouldn't punish them too hard because they're able to fall back here. That's exactly what they'll do once Maroon starts searching forward. Ajax has the horn, but honestly not a huge impact ultimate without an enemy dive. So really I'm waiting for that ultimate from Jeff, and here it is.
There we go. Mike trying to seal away the
Bruh.
invisible boundary wielder.
Bruh.
All right, man. Lag? Maybe? Okay. Sure. Fan hammers out. Leo getting that impact early on. Wolverine. Slice and dice. Gets the isolation up against Spooky Peak, but Spooky's still getting healed off of it. Kennesaw State are finding much more impact now on this defensive line. Really curious
Much
about that
better.
Jeff ult.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a rough one, Reed. We'll see how it kind of shakes out a little bit later. 2 minutes on the clock here, and I'm agreeing with you heavy, Keg. I think that Kennesaw State looks so much better here on defense, trying to respond to what Maroon's doing. Kind of some okey-doke kills as well. I don't know if Pete kind of earned that, but a KO's a KO, so I don't care.
I'll take it. I will say, though, MSU Maroon, I think their adaptability has been their best trait so far when it comes to this matchup. We saw them lose that opening fight on Hell's Heaven. They adapted. They made out new heroes. They brought it back, and they dominated back on Hell's Heaven after that initial fight. They did the same thing on P2 here. But they just got to figure out what is going to make it click this time around. Dark swaps over to the Wolverine. That's going to be attempt number 1. But it seems like, again, this big choke has been a barrier for the team. Nightminer swapping to the Magneto has certainly helped throughout this matchup. The Meteor M finding impact. Torn to Proteus. It's Jeff out now. Invisible Boundary directly on top. Spooky Pete now with the Ensong Inferno will try to go for the anti-dive, maybe focus on Dark's Wolverine. The answer is no, not that. Instead, though, there is going to be the divide and most certainly a conquer. Plenty of ultimates all at once. Eternal Bond, Meteor M, and the Heaven's Retribution out. Kennesaw State using everything inside their nuclear code launch book to deny again MSU Maroon. 45 seconds left, and with no ults available, F-Dot, this could be MSU Maroon's chance.
That is definitely where the Angela's going to look good, and don't be too crazed about the triple Vanguard here. This is what I was talking about, where I was saying that Angela's just kind of a thick DPS, and she's absolutely playing as much. Nightminer playing frontline for the team, standing in front of everybody and just putting up a big shield. T-Man diving the back line, distracting healers and making them play patty cake so they're not healing their front line. And Haresh just flying and prying everybody away.
Yep, love this from Kennesaw State. Horn of Proteus out once again. 3 Vanguards to work off of. So much damage, and MSU Maroon do not have the output necessary. It's just a Namor. There's a Wolverine too, but he's not going to be consistent damage. He's got to play for isolations inside a Coliseum. That's not going to happen. Not the way that they would hope. But maybe I spoke too soon. That's a whole team wipe. Everyone at Kennesaw State have 2 left at their disposal. Haresh falls. Steigers are out, and that's the remains gone. That should be MSU Maroon taking point.
We have a portal, though.
Portal?
Yes, there is absolutely time for a portal. 2 points in the pocket, but here comes Kennesaw State. Right on through goes the tank, and the tank does get abducted. Lanterns are good. And Nightminer not down just yet. Spoke too soon. Dark gets 2, and that should open the door for Maroon. Even with a couple of kick flips and heel flips, tricks are not good enough. Point given, and Maroon on their last legs, chomp down.
Wonderful work. The fact that Kennesaw had used all their ults, still left time on the clock, should have been a good confidence sign for them to maybe take map 2. The fact that MSU Maroon had swapped to a Wolverine, had Dark rock that hero, do wonders for diving into the back line. I was concerned at first. There just wasn't enough room, but Wolverine can find impact in those situations. Invisible Boundaries out alongside Ensong Inferno, F-Dot. You're going to have to find a way to deny the space here, but Wolf loves to hold on to this Psionic Seduction just for moments like that.
Angela on the run here. 5 players knocked up by the Venom player, 2 grabbed by the Angela. And Haresh back to the run. Don't need the takedowns, just need the room given by the tackle. And that's exactly what the One-Winged Angel's doing here. Psionic Seduction's going to catch a whole bunch of players, Keg, and that impact is felt.
Wonderful work. A great stun allows Neo Leo to use Van Hammer and also take down plenty of headshots for the DPS capabilities. Meteor M directly on top, but in the midst of the chaos, the shields from Emma ensuring that Dead Positive could say dead alive throughout that ult. Works out well. Dark is there again. That's another ISO. Nightminer falls. Fearless Reed can wait now 1 minute to use its Jeff on the convoy and deny any overtime chance.
Great heals coming out from the strat line of Kennesaw, but not enough for the diving Dark. Big pickup means all the room in the world completed. Again, I do not care if you get the takedowns. Make the space. And that's exactly what Logan's doing here.
There we go. Fearless, 37 seconds left. Opts to go for ult. Think maybe a little too quick, but we'll see how it plays out towards the end. Does force out a stagger into OT, but no player eliminations on the ult itself, but Fearless Reed, he cleans up his own mess. No portal. Simply no time. Oh no! Hold on, that's an MSU portal. I like this. Okay, Kennesaw, they've had control up until now, jumped down directly onto the convoy, vertical control in the hands of Kennesaw State. This is their last chance to hold the line, 3 ults available, now make that 4, Eternal Bond, can't have them go directly on top of the Invisible Boundary, now procced out immediately. Beast of the Abyss comes from above, MSU Maroon losing bodies left and right, Heaven's Retribution slaying down any angels from above. But through it all, Spooky Pete still finds yet another. Vanguard after Vanguard have fallen, and there's no way to come back in time. A second portal can't be used. And Skull finds that work. Wonderful overall. Kennesaw State have evened up the series.
Unfortunate that Skulldigger still has that ultimate in the pocket. Definitely want to see that used as the game's over, but Kennesaw State winds up on top, so no harm, no foul, and we've got a matchup. Very fun to see MSU win number 1 in emphatic fashion. And then Kennesaw State Ascend comes through and goes, yeah, us too. So I'm a little surprised here, especially after the first round. I thought Kennesaw might have dropped that one big picture, but able to bring it back and play really strong defense, kind of keeping the opponent at bay. And looking at the numbers, I mean, I underestimate this Wolverine. I will say that with my chest. Not a lot of targets for the Wolverine to go to town in. The big highlight for Dark was once we saw the portal swap over to the Doctor Strange. Of course, the Wolverine's going to take care of the Doctor Strange. But seeing the rest of the impact on not just the tanks, but everywhere else, definitely a big deal for me.
Yeah, I also think for Kennesaw, having the triple Vanguard lineup was immensely helpful for the team having survivability towards the second half of that matchup. We did get to see T-Man truly rock out on the Venom. I've been harping on him a lot so far this series, but the fact that he got to play what seems like his best Vanguard and be at the top of the lobby looked pretty dang good, F-Dot. But we're going to have to wait and see how things play out, though. It's an even series for our first matchups of the day. And let me tell you, it's a great way to start things off. But we got to take a small break, and so do the players. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, hello! Hi, guys! Well, we were a little early to the draw, but that's okay. We're always primed up and ready to go. Did you know that we have so many major things coming up ahead? Did you also know that we have a big event next month? I don't even know what month is next month. Is it May already?
It is May.
No.
May?
Where did March go?
That was yesterday or yestermonth.
Yesterday. It feels like yesterday. But we do have a lot of people helping us, making sure that land is a possibility as well. We have the Army National Guard that have been awesome in helping NECC be a possibility for this season. Gotta say, thank you so much, guys. It's been a wonderful having you guys there for our support. But because we're in the Forge right now, we do have ourselves the uncommon traits. These are the win conditions of each of these teams to see, well, what we've picked apart from the last 2 games to see how they can play out. Let's look at MSU first.
Yes, let's do that. MSU Maroon here coming through. Jeff Oltz landing KOs. Y'all saw it. Don't miss it. Pretty simple there. Wolverine counter pick. Dark has looked really good on the Wolverine. Whether it's a counter pick or not, he's got the claws out and certainly paying the bills. And then the one that's a little tough to talk about. Don't get arrogant, boys, girls, friends, enemies, royalty or otherwise. You listen, game number 1 looked good. It looked great. It looked like you were unmesswithable. And then game number 2 did not see the same. Now, I'm not saying that they got arrogant, but if there was a moment, that might have been it. So cool the jets, reset the Etch-a-Sketch, and come back game 3 respecting that opposition.
No, I completely agree. And heading over to Kennesaw State, we get to see their uncommon traits as well. There
Venom
we go.
Priority. Yeah, big priority here for Venom. T-Man, just holy! That's what it looks like when Venom's not banned. More of that. Didn't even need DPS help. Just showed up and elbow dropped the healers over and over again. Stay aware of the Wolverine, but don't necessarily be afraid of the Wolverine. And that's connected to our next one of Shield Vanguards. If you're going to play that top to bottom, which did look like a good look here for Kennesaw State, maybe you need some protection in the front line. But if that's what you're going to do, you got to be aware of the Wolverine. So ultimately, I will be honest with you. I wrote those, and I'm not totally sure how I feel about playing front to back or playing dive against dive. That's why we've got up to 3 more games to see how this one works out. But as we jump into Museum, tight corridors, long hallways, anybody a winner.
Yeah, we've been seeing Museum of Contemplation quite a bit in the Asia region for the Pro League. Get to see whether or not if teams have been watching these matches, if they can adopt those same strategies or not. A lot of it has been front to back when it comes to especially defending on Museum side. So shields have been very important. We've seen a few Angelas, but usually picked off pretty quickly. A lot of spawn holds have come out too. Very interestingly, Kennesaw opting to go for a reserve on Cloak and Dagger. They are looking to find ways of creating space here. And alongside the Daredevil ban, I'm not against that. They're still looking to play anti-dive.
Absolutely. I mean, Maroon has just shown that they are a very strong dive team. Dark on the Wolverine. Doesn't matter if there are tanks or not. He's still just going to be able to do what he's doing, which is very impressive. And that's probably as a result of the Magic not being available last time around, the Daredevil not being available last time around. Guess what? The Magic's available this time around. So I certainly expect to see a little bit of a difference there as far as the dive is concerned, because now you've got a couple of different options for sure.
Okay, Jeff Ban is out. I think the It's Jeff would create a lot of space that maybe was making things awkward for Kennesaw at quite a few points. Even if we didn't see Jeff's ult necessarily gather KOs, it still had a lot of displacement. Even if it didn't catch anybody in the ult, the fact that people couldn't go in the radius also meant that people just were displaced generally. But MSU Maroon may be getting the most important ban of this entire draft, getting rid of the Venom, which is going to be so tough for T-Man going into this matchup.
Team game. Team game. Kennesaw State as a whole. Booty hoo. Respect. T-Man put the backpack on last game. T-Man put the backpack on in game 2. I give a shout out to Haresh as well, but real talk, that was T-Man's game. So here now on the Vanpool and the Magneto front lineup, like that call. I think this is a strong front line. With the recent nerfs to the Vanguard Deadpool, I wouldn't be upset if we saw a different off tank. Before, I think you're just wrong. Prior to our previous patch, if you pick somebody besides the OT Deadpool, I think you're just wrong. Here, I think it's a little bit more flexible, a little bit more deal-withable. I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing a Groot.
Yeah, Groot would be a fantastic option here. We see this on defense quite a bit. I think the idea to go maybe very DPS heavy here for Kennesaw, maybe opts not to have the Groot. They don't really seem to be the team to take or play around space as much as we've seen MS Maroon, but Night Miners coming out swinging with the hands of the rest of Kennesaw State. Loving what we're seeing early on so far for these early fights. Even though we're having MSU Maroon take different angles, they are not getting the heals necessary to help out. There's only two, and it's going to be the White Fox and the Invisible Woman. And they do have great heals, but unfortunately they're not that great far away.
That's on me. I'm gonna back up a little bit. I thought Kennesaw State was on defense. They're actually on offense. And so as a result, love the Deadpool pick. He is a W key tank. And that's exactly what T-Man's able to do here. Almost has the ultimate available, which of course means one dead strategist. T-Man's going to find a target for the Banhammer. But in general, Kennesaw State able to push forward. There's said Banhammer. And T-Man just pushing into the opposition healers. Two players on the point, moving it forward. And point one confirmed here for KSU.
Yeah, Kennesaw is looking fantastic in this first point. That's usually one of the hardest aspects of this entire map, is getting over the initial choke. The second hardest part comes up here. It's this verticality. And as long as we can see Kennesaw overheat, you have to overheat here and make sure you remain in control at the top of this hill. I think Kennesaw could take this entire point to all three.
What I love what's happening right now is that Kennesaw State has not left 0 people on the point just yet. In fact, most of the time they've had 3 players on the point. So they're getting space, and then they're maximizing said space by making the point move as quickly as possible. So great attention to detail here from Kennesaw State.
Yeah, we did see the flexibility early on too. Kennesaw willing to go for the triple Vanguard if necessary. Of course, now plenty of ultimates used for this next team fight. That's Harash! Oh, a Penta! That's what you want to see. The entirety of MSU Maroon melted away.
Damn. That's my analysis, Keg. Damn. He did it. Button go boom. I mean, in all honesty, yeah, there's some grouping up. Yeah, that's just the impact, you know? I underestimated the Wolverine. I said it with my chest before, and that's just a smack in the face to me one more time. Fantastic work here from Haresh, as Maroon actually gather themselves for the first time all game and get a stop. But Skulldigger going to unroll the red carpet, and Kennesaw State's going to be able to fight into this one more time.
Oh, man, this is just mayhem. Top of the hill things again. Kennesaw State, you've just gone to the checkbox of all the major things you need to worry about on this attack, and they have an easy street up ahead if they can confirm P2. I gotta say, despite us seeing the reserve for the Cloak and Dagger, MSU Maroon really don't have any tools in their pocket with this lineup to cancel out the Eternal Bond ultimate. Maybe Endsong Inferno, but that's incredibly hard to do. You're looking more so at Meteor M or even Iron Man's ultimate to shut down that ult. And yet, even though it's been telegraphed, we're not seeing a priority.
Agreed, yeah, you're just sitting here waiting it out if you're Maroon. 10 seconds even after a nerf, still a pretty long time, so definitely something that you've got to be aware of. Meanwhile, Ajax, aware that the ult's up from a distance, shoved out, dash is good, kidnapped, and Ajax mid-ult gets put down by Koresh.
Yeah, Haresh is finding so much impact here. Ajax may be looking to swap away from the Magic, but that has been their bread and butter all the way back in map 1. We've seen the reserve for the Magic as well. We know that Ajax wants to go for this more than anything else. Whole team plans based around this pick too. But again, another Elim. That wasn't even Haresh. That was going to be at the hands of R.
Real quick, you hate to see the low latency dieback here from Ajax. Dark's going to suffer as well. So Kennesaw State on a tear. Offense looking great. Spooky Pete does take a spill there, but ain't no thing. 5 ultimates available for next time they push here. And just to point out, that's not like BM I give up. That's Neo knowing I'm staggered. Please just take me out very quickly. And if Kennesaw State want to be really cute about that, they don't take him out right away. They leave him, make him die as late as possible to further the stagger. You know, these are things that are hard to think of in the moment, but Kennesaw State right there take down Neo, and all of a sudden Maroon playing on their back feet.
Gotta say, I'm surprised MSU Maroon haven't gone for big hero counterplays yet. The fact now is that they haven't seen any consistent KOs. T-Man now on the ban pools, finding impact. Really showing Neo Leo a thing or two. Ensong Inferno out, does not land a KO for Dark, unfortunately. Ajax there, gets rid of one shadow distance to the back line. This is good. More meltdowns, tight corridors. Going to help out well for MSU Maroon's defense. It's just a matter of seeing if this is finally the time to kick back. 2 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock. Really, any inch of space Kennesaw can take can lead to a mile.
Now, ending here, this is one of the maps that are finished the fewest. We rarely see a 3-pointer. It's just so difficult to really make it all the way back because of how close that respawn is. And of course, that's kind of the gimmick for all these maps, but this one in particular. So I was lamenting the defensive van pool, but here it makes sense because you're able to really push up, which is all he wants to do. But it's T-Man who's popping the ultimate instead, and as a result, check myself. 2 takedowns on the side of Maroon means that they're looking good.
And to speak on that point more, usually when we see Museum's convoy not end at 3, it's always on the very beginning of the map in spawn for the attackers, or it's at the very top hill at the end of P2. The fact that both of those have been cleared by Kennesaw makes me feel very confident that A, they can get all 3, and B, if they don't, ending where they are now is still a very scary sign for MSU when they swap to their own attack. They're going to have to make magic get recreated.
Night Miner trying to find his way in the front. A good look for positioning from Spooky Pete gets sniffed out by the opposing dive. Ajax walks away from the poker and instead, no, gotcha, turns around, smacks down Phoenix, and now is looking for more. T-Man and Haresh, though, are able to answer by taking out not one, but tres of the opposition. So Ajax, cute ult, you took down 1, but 1 pales in comparison to the 5 that Kennesaw State were able to eat down. The tank grabs 2. Keg? You were right. Point taken. Game not confirmed.
Portal came through despite the psionic seduction. Okay, you know what? I'm happy for that. We saw Wolf try to create distance and protect this Doctor Strange. Ended up working out well, but despite through all of this, you're jumping down directly into the blender. And let me tell you, I've learned from experience, F. If you stick your hand in a blender when it's already turned on, you're gonna have a bad time.
Bro, what? Did you actually do that?
I was 3.
You'll need a top-notch team to win.
Whoa. Do you have... I mean...
What's up?
Are you okay? Do you have like...
Yeah, I put my head in and I turned into an esports caster.
I hate you so much. I thought I was going to learn about your prosthetic hand. Like, I have an uncle with 3 fingers. My dad had 1 leg. Like, missing appendages is not that wild to me. So I was like, oh, wait, for real? No, oh, my goodness. All right. Okay. Locking back in here. Ajax 11-8 on the Magic with a single final. I'll be honest. Not as good as I would like. I will also follow up with another honest take. Better character on offense than defense. So we'll see how it winds up. 22 seconds for KSU on their offensive push. Gets pushed up to a minute once we reach overtime, should we get there. So all Maroon has to do is kind of reach the end, and we'll see how the OT shack rattles out, because it's not like Kennesaw State did so with a ton of extra time. If we look on the other side, we see really just better numbers than Maroons. And again, largely, I'm putting that in the bag of the fact that KSU is playing offense. Now on defense, they aren't going to switch things up too much. Haresh now on the Thor. And, well, all right, that's one way to start us off.
Pretty good start. Gambit's banned out. Fearless swapping to the Mantis for the early damage amplification. There to help out up against the Phoenix. Definitely a good start. But the fact that we've seen these Thor bans and or Venom bans seemingly counterplaying Haresh quite a bit more. Thor's finally making his appearance. We get to see a big reason why MSU chose to ban him out all the way, I think, the first 2 matches. And so far, this is looking pretty dang good. 3 Vanguards on the line for Kennesaw State, keeping MSU Maroon directly in spawn. Even with the damage jam from Fearless Reed, there's 3 Vanguards you have to deal with. T-Man falls. Still though, shields available. Haresh still at full HP. Not a lot of distance made by MSU Maroon. Starting now to slowly trek their way forwards. But this is one of the first major stopgaps for most teams at the pro level.
Very similar vibe from before for KSU. Trip tanks, but really just 2 tanks and a fat DPS in Thor. Haresh grabs 2. That's his name, Fat DPS. And he's laying down the damage for sure. 2 takedowns as Maroon tries to get back up, but Ajax off of the damage and onto the Luna, which enables Fearless to go ahead and play that tertiary healer in the Mantis. I say healer, but we all know she really being played for that damage amplification.
Oh, yeah.
So.
The damage comes out in the Soul Resurgence, finally underway. Fearless Reed looking for that impact. Eternal Bond, there's a red carpet to stop the convoy from making any more progress forwards. MSU Maroon, once again, don't have anything in their arsenal besides maybe the Endsong Infernal to stop these ults. Haresh takes down Leo once again. Plenty of ultimates used all at once. Really, now you're just buying time for the Kumiho to come out, and Dead Positive's got to rock that immediately. I'm watching their HP like a hawk right now, trying to keep it alive, but before the ult can even be procced out, Dead Positive falls. This is just mayhem from the Thor.
I don't love the Mantis. That's what I'm looking at. Don't love the Mantis.
I get the idea of the Mantis.
I get the idea of the Mantis, more damage, but the problem is you don't have enough damage. This is a big answer, though. The lockpick coming out from Wolf. The door has been locked, and Emma's kicking it in. Psionic Seduction wraps up everybody. Leo is able to grab 2 for himself, plus a teammate off the top. So 4 players in Kennesaw State jerseys sit down for the moment. And that might not be enough to make it all the way home.
No.
But hold your breath.
Dead Positive for the Kumio directly onto the portal. Fully expecting this to come out. The Suns are out, though. Convoy makes its way through that portal. Had it just been backed up a little bit more, could have been directly on top of the Convoy, but instead, though, Giant Fox through the portal. And Haresh could not find the impact necessary for that fight. Allows full access and a wasted portal.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Just barely not making it there. Was Kennesaw State. Now they've got to play up one more time. Rarely do you see the teams play defense in this valley. You brought up the verticality being a big deal, and it certainly is. Leo looking for the flank here. Drops the banhammer on one of the healers, but right away, Thor shows up. And one of the rare times we see a defensive played Thor. Thank you, Haresh. That's what you get for being the 3rd guy on charge. And Thor shuts down the Deadpool push. We see the nerf in living color. And as a result, Maroon still looking good despite Haresh's best efforts.
Keeping everybody back, though, allows enough space for the attackers to push their way up and funnel all these defenders into a small little box. Kennesaw State, once Leo falls, have the way of bringing it back. Each member falling like bowling pins. And not even needing any ults. This next fight, F-Dot, Kennesaw State are going to have 6 ults to play with.
That's one of the big things that I was talking about. Listen, in the valley, it's so tough to kind of defend the school bus, but once you're up here, this is where you're able to play defense. So Kennesaw State just sort of let it go until they were all the way up this hill. And now they've got a better vantage point. There's a couple of different options, whether they want to go straight on or if they want to hang out from the left-hand side in that window. Either way, Night Miner and the boys have a ton of different tools, and T-Man, the first one to take it off the belt.
There we go, Banhammer's out for the back line. That's going to be 2 critical strategists gone, and Dead Positive, the 3rd and last strategist. No heals available for MSU Maroon. At this point, the best win condition would be forcing Kennesaw State to make a mistake and use one of those ults. But there's no way they would. Darth goes back to the Wolverine.
No sense in pushing the button unless you need it when you're on defense. Again, not about tempo, simply about trapping your opposition. But I love this call. MSU Maroon going to go as a collective unit up above, dive across. All right, Deadpool, looking a little silly here. But the rest of the team, definitely not. Deadpool in some trouble right away. Still able to dance, make himself known. Harass shows up. Ajax with a good freeze. But one already down for the count, so 2 players down on either side, and Skulldigger with the defensive Eternal Bond. That'll be a big stop sign for MSU Maroon.
Both of these teams just turn these points into mayhem. Loving the way Neoleo's getting into the back line, taking control of the strategist. Love the Thor Force that we saw from Haresh, making sure that you could almost eliminate the entire back line themselves. And through it all, you're right. All these strategists holds directly onto the convoy, not making things easy. And Song Inferno looks like it should be coming out momentarily. Invisible boundaries out. Dark playing for time. 15 seconds left. There's not many places to hide, no environmental cover whatsoever. It's a direct shoot directly to the end. Kumio is out. Dark finds one. Nightminer falls. That's going to be a very critical shield Vanguard you no longer have access to. And Spooky Pete ensures that Kennesaw State can hold the line. Fearless Reed has to go for a last-ditch effort. Portal is out. Yellow bar decreasing. There's no time.
Final score 1, 2, 3.
Color me surprised. Color me surprised. Kennesaw State looking cute, feeling cute. The difference in prowess. MSU Maroon looked nearly unbeatable in game 1. Game number 2, a little bit tighter, but Kennesaw State winds up on top. And game number 3 here, Keg. KSU, hooty hoo.
Yeah, KSU are looking fantastic. They found a game plan that works at the macro level, and they are just running away with it. My favorite thing that I saw from MSU in the first 2 games was the fact that they were willing, halfway through each of their points, go for major adaptations when these team fights were not going in their favor. The fact that we saw MSU Maroon start rocking out the Wolverine back on Hell's Heaven, that worked. We saw maybe not as major, but still hero swaps coming out in game 2. That helped a lot. And on both sides, outside of, say, I suppose Dark and I suppose the Mantis swap we had seen earlier, there weren't any major hero swaps at all from MSU Maroon. I was expecting something larger, the Wolverine certainly to come out earlier, and frankly, I thought the Mantis was going to have more impact.
Yeah, I did not. Mantis is. I think you just have to do a lot of specific things that we just didn't see happen with the Mantis. I'm looking at Haresh. Fantastic work out of this guy. 43-2-12 with 20 finals, over 22,000 damage. That's what I mean by fat DPS. You can look at the little iconography and tell me that we're playing 3 Vanguards and 1 Duelist. Yes, that is what the game tells us. We're still playing 2-2-2 because that Thor is a damage dealer. He brought more finals and more damage overall than the other Duelist. He just fat damage, making it happen.
It's just so tough because we're seeing MSU rely on this Phoenix so much, and while Phoenix is one of the best duelists in the game, her damage output is strong, but not when you have 3 Vanguards against you, and there's just no consistent way to get access to the strategist that you need to get rid of as a very first point of the checklist to get rid of 3 Vanguards on the board. Neoleo started making those adjustments himself. On the attacking side on point 2, he would go around many corners. He would start targeting the strategists. That's when I thought MSU could truly, consistently turn things around. But then, you're right, it was Haresh. He just came swinging by with his Thor, and that was the end of the story, man.
I mean, a big part, listen, we see this Elsa ban first and foremost every single time, and Elsa has had some adjustment. She is much less of a tank killer than before. She's still a tank killer. She has much less movement than before, which is probably less relevant to this conversation. Kennesaw State want to play because that's really like, okay, I keep calling Thor a fat DPS, but what does that actually mean? He is bringing just as much damage as a traditional duelist, but what makes him different? The large health pool. So characters that are tank busters, Wolverine, Iron Fist, Elsa's still in that category. Those are the characters that will kind of capitalize against a triple Vanguard lineup, whether or not you're playing staunch trip Vanguard like we see on some maps playing at the beginning, just more as a gimmick type deal where you see 2 anchors and a Groot or something disgusting. no, this is, like I said, kind of a fat DPS situation. You're still susceptible to the percent damage heroes. So definitely something you want to be aware of. Not afraid of, but aware of.
This is going to be a hot take, but I think if you're MSU Maroons, you're looking to swap away from the Phoenix into this next game. As good as Phoenix can be, I don't think she's the right answer for Kennesaw.
Hard agree. I'd like to see a Punisher come out at the very least. I think Punisher's shotgun can definitely punish some wayward kind of Vanguard characters, but also most notably, listen, if I'm not playing against a Rocket Raccoon or a Groot or a Storm, then that Phoenix Ultimate is a lot less interesting, especially if I haven't done the work to like sprinkle out my little passive and then over the top. It's just not the most impactful ultimate. It just isn't. Punisher, on the other hand, the big guns come out, everybody got to run. So give me a bigger ultimate, and yeah, give me just something else besides the Phoenix, and I'm looking at the Punisher.
Yeah, I'm a big Punisher enjoyer myself. A big reason why people choose to bring out Phoenix is that she can do a lot of massive damage against squishier heroes, if, again, you're able to aim at them, but the strategists on Kennesaw have been doing such a good job ensuring that they can hide behind the Vanguards. Another big reason is mobility. Even though we do have the zipline for Punisher, it's so linear, you're really not able to get the impact that you want a lot of the time with it. So it's going to come down to the drawing board about which duelist we could see MSU opt to go for. I don't think the Magic's the answer. I don't think the Phoenix is the answer. I think Punisher can be a great answer. I can give you another hot take. Shoot. I wouldn't be against seeing something like an Iron Man from MSU, considering how much relevance, I should say, Kennesaw likes to put onto the Cloak and Dagger. But this is also a really, really good Punisher map.
I love you.
Yeah.
I have 800 hours on Iron Man, okay? I'm an insane person. It's Iron Man for breakfast. Angela eats Iron Man for lunch. The Phoenix eats Iron Man after the fact. So Iron Man is the most countered character in the entire game, which is why he's kind of on the bottom. And I think a lot of what we've seen across the way doesn't really bode well. I think you were nailing it when you were talking about, like, Phoenix's mobility. But who cares? You're not getting dove, right? So give me some of the Iron Man. Give me, some of the Punisher. If you want a hot take, I thought I was so ready, man. It hurts me to talk smack against the Iron Man. I will say, I would like to see an Iron Fist because he does have percent damage to deal with Haresh. However, First Protect is Daredevil, which has been banned out the entire game, and that might be the difference maker right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Daredevil was let through and that we see MSU prioritize it. We haven't seen it so far. Magic reserved as well. Looks like Double Dive will be the answer for MSU Maroon when it comes to domination. This was the last game mode that they won. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it out here again.
Don't like the Magic Protect. Yeah, man, you were right, dude. I don't think the Magic is the choice. I think your big brain on display there. Just the fact that we see the Magic. We've seen the Magic, and I didn't see said Magic. So maybe there's some more sleight of hand in the cards, but ultimately for me, I'm looking at that Wolverine Protect as one of the bigger deals, which is interesting here from KSU because both of these teams have played the Wolverine well, and both of these teams, I don't know if both of these teams have played the Vanpool well, but both of these teams have leaned on the Vanpool, so I'm down to see something different.
I think all things considered, I think both teams have played the Vanpool pretty well. I just think Kennesaw have opened up more opportunities to see the Vanpool really shine when it comes to fights. I think MSU Maroon, Neo Leo could also have a lot of opportunities with the Vanpool in fights, but it really feels like the rest of the team is restricting how extended he can play out. And he's forcing himself into this funnel of being just a backline, Beatrice. But we'll see, though, as we go into domination. The backline is important, but it's not as funnel heavy as it would be on Convoy. Going to Krakoa, though, I'm very curious to see why we've continued in this meta to have a Winter Soldier ban, and Night Miner chooses to bring it out.
Idealism refreshes a battle.
Tag, I just want to thank you for letting me talk about Iron Man a little bit.
Hey,
He is my
you're
favorite
welcome.
character. He's my favorite character in the game.
You know,
he's
I've never
completely irrelevant. He's completely
I've never
irrelevant.
seen you and Iron Man in the same room at the same time.
I'm just saying we're the same Myers-Briggs. Listen, Iron Man, dude. I never get to talk about Iron Man. He's unplayable. He's so
You can
handsome.
whisper
He's so
sweet
tall. He's so
Iron
rich.
Man, nothing's to me all day.
That beam, the change to the beam, still keeps him irrelevant. I don't know what to tell you. Guang Guang, please hear my call.
Oh, portal. Portal into the Daredevil. What's homie gonna find here? Okay. Nah, alright. Not a lot early on. Everyone kind of saw us directly on point.
And it sounds like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, okay. What?
Who's the blue jersey? There is no blue jersey. Spooky Pete, get on the point. Okay, there it is. I was like, who from Maroon is on the point? The answer was nobody at all was on the point. So it took Kennesaw a second to get there.
It's just
They better hope
question
that
marks
they do-
about that portal, man.
Question marks, I honestly, making your opponent have a bunch of question marks isn't the worst play in the world. Maroon, I don't see the method behind the madness, but, you know, that's what happens with Portal Tech. Sometimes you sit here and you're like, yeah, man, I've got the perfect play. And then your team's like, what is that portal? Just me? Okay.
To me on the screen, it looked like Portal came out for Daredevil to just pop off, right? Like, all right, that's normal. But then, like, everyone in Kennesaw just disappeared. And then I just look around and they're on point. Like, where did they go? They teleported. Regardless,
What's up
though,
with Reed?
What's up with Reed?
Where is
Reed-
Fearless Reed with 0%? Oh, Shaw.
I don't know. AFK? Maybe?
Oh, no. You hate
Yeah.
to see that.
But they locked in a hero.
Yo no sé.
I don't see him anywhere.
Kennesaw State sees nothing but W's. As everybody's got an ultimate, Haresh is going to be able to grab one soon. R, 2/3 of the way done. 72% and counting, and Maroon can't seem to get anything going. Little rough, as a dog would say.
Arf, arf, arf.
No, rough.
Oh. Arr. We'll see, though, if it changes up. It still seems like Fearless Reed is not in the battle at all. Kumiho has been brought out. MSU Maroon not going for a tech pause or anything. One question after another. Uncommon traits. Have Fearless Reed play.
Might be a good one. Night Miner, the tank player, showing up on the Buckworth. And, ooh, baby, a twipple.
Did he crash? Where did Fearless Reed go?
Donde está Fearless Reed? When you go to when you go to the Mexican restaurant, do you like use a heavy accent when you ask for burrito?
Oh, totally. The most offensive accent I can.
You gotta. You just
Everywhere
like, hey,
I go.
Can I get chips, a Coca-Cola, and some guacamole? All right, Fearless is back. Cool.
Okay.
Maybe they just wanted
Well,
to take a breather.
maybe he was getting some Lenzos. And production's confirming, yeah, no one asked for a pause. Okay.
You know what? You know what would be the
Stun
you know what
lock.
would be the most swag play ever?
What's up?
Fearless Reed got up to get just take a break and was like, you know what? We can pass the first round
you know
and
what I have to give
then
him?
just go for the next two.
Yeah,
Like,
you ever see that clip of that little kid? Like the kid someone goes AFK and this like little baby kid walks up and gets like an ace on their dad's PC. That's what I'm imagining gonna happen now.
Now, you know what? Maybe that point is not fun. Maybe Fearless Reed is like, I don't like that first point.
It was
Let's
a
win on the
protest.
second and third. Yeah.
Conscientious objector.
Either way, we got a real game here now, folks. Kennesaw State up 2-1. If they win this round, they win it all, and they're your Division II champs for now. So definitely, MSU Maroon already had their back against the wall. Now they got both of their backs
good
against
God.
the wall. And Dark is like, what up, dude? I got a team now.
Genuinely, I'm shocked that Daredevil was let through the bans. Especially on a domination point like this. That's a tough pill to swallow, man. Letting the devil out.
That's Kennesaw State playing their best of 5. That's Kennesaw State saying, we've got a game to burn. We keep banning this Daredevil because we're afraid of it. Let's ban the other stuff that's been giving us issues and make this player prove that we should be afraid of said Daredevil. Looks like he's doing that.
Yeah, I just think with how strong Daredevil is historically, it's wild to let him through. Like Elsa, that's fine. All the other bands, sure. But, okay, hold on now, Kennesaw, we're bringing it back. Except for Dark, who's been popping off.
The reserve for me there, as Ajax goes into the Dark Child and doesn't really get much for it, is the fact that Daredevil is such a high skill cap character. I think it is absolutely worth being. Prove it. Prove it, dude. Can you play him? Let's see it. And, well, the Catholic prayed. He's getting his prayers answered.
I mean,
Daredevil
I'd argue
already doing a ton.
If Homie can play Wolverine the way he has been, I think he can play Daredevil.
Exactly.
But this is just an onslaught both ways. Both these team fights have been so chaotic. Nightminer and Co. taking it back. Actually, you know, to play off of your point, the fact that we saw Winter Soldier ban these last few games allowed this time around, I think, speaks to that point a lot more.
Sure. Same exact vibe. Winter Soldier also a pretty difficult to pilot character. Yeah, I know everybody out there in Chatland is so much better and fantastic, but I mean, just raw compared to like plain hit scan characters, being able to land a long range pull, 180 push, uppercut, you know, it's not as quite cut and dry as playing Phoenix. So certainly a thought process there.
We also haven't seen Phoenix at all from either team so far this match. A really good adjustment from MSU Maroon specifically. Even though they didn't win the first, I almost don't want to count that first point. But the fact that they're 35% on point 2 here, absolutely need to see a portal now from Neo Leo. We will be, right? Right? Right?
I think you can walk it in here. There's enough time to walk it in here and then save the portal for a secondary attempt.
I don't think so.
Look behind. Blue team capping the point without anybody seeing. Heads up. Here's some help from behind. All of a sudden, one player on point, but the Fox is here as well. And overtime will tick up, but MSU Maroon able to claim the point sneaky peeky like.
I'm so confused about what just happened. Did they actually portal or did they go around the entire map?
I did not hear a portal call.
I don't think I did either.
Around the long way. And yeah, I mean, dude, we're looking at the Doctor Strange. He obviously didn't use it. Big dumb caster on my part. So yeah, they just walked.
Huh. I'm sure whatever works best, I suppose. Genuinely shocked that worked. But to be fair though, we do have Kraken Impact set up and ready for Nightminer. Damn, Dark. Oh my god. Never want to be in a close quarters with Black Panther or Daredevil like that, dude. That was a team meltdown. And now Kennesaw State needs to start considering a portal of their own.
Experiment completed. And the Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's my take for this one. You know what? I don't hate the idea of letting it go through. Don't let it happen again. KO for Nightminer to start us off, so it's a 5v6 immediately. And guess who's down? Daredevil. Again, Kennesaw State takes this round. They take the whole dang thing. Aya Agamotto's going to open up the rest of the team fight as Neo Leo falls down after the fact, but it's quadra kill for Nightminer, the tank player, on the Bucky. And with both teams here at 99%, Haresh getting their hands dirty as well. Swapped over from the blue team. Point goes to the red team. Maroon has a portal available. Hold your breath. And it will come in time.
It does? I'm genuinely shocked. No one body blocks the portal. Fearless Reed for the clutch of a century there. Horn of Proteus out. Skull's far, far away, looking to find impact here off of the heels. Whatever they can do to keep this Namor afloat. All through it all, though, Shadow Cloak's looking good. Kumio on top, and Kennesaw State, despite the portal. Sure, man. What a circus at the Grove.
Woof. Oh my goodness. Fantastic performance here by both squads. Kennesaw State get the 1-2-3. They lose game number 1, but who remembers that? Division II champs, KSU, hooty hoo.
Yeah, division. Man, talk about dividing there. Kennesaw State, they threw us in for a loop so many different times there. Loved what we were seeing coming out from their adaptations. The fact that they had such a weird hero pool on each of their players really says a lot for both of these teams. You consistently ban out the Winter Soldier, then you have your duelist who plays that Winter Soldier play a variety of different vanguards, specifically the Thor, and pop off with it. Sure, man. Why not?
Yeah. Totally here for it. Nightminer was on the Magneto playing anchor tank and then goes, surprise, Mamma Jamma, and just pulls out the Buckworth, like all the way here for it. I love nonsense play like that. That's exactly what we got. Again, the old spaceman sweep, game 1 that way and then the rest of them the other way. So much love to these teams. Kennesaw State coming through and honestly giving us a show. A+.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was so exciting to see for all these teams. Even though MSU, they only won 1 game, they were still all fairly close, all things considered. It definitely became much more of the Kennesaw show each game forwards. But that's the end for our first matchup of today. Our first one, or our only one of Division 2. We get to move on to a whole new division right after this. So don't go anywhere. We got to get our players ready, and we'll be right back.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
Frozen over like I am. Well, I know you know that life is colder, colder when I'm older, older than I am. And I know you know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know you know that life gets colder, colder when you're frozen over like I am. And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? And you know I'm feeling good like that, so what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, but what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I've been in the good times already. You can see it on my face, I know. No more racing, we got it. We could reach it, yeah, we got it. Oh, I'm feeling good like that, so what you gonna do? And I can't stop thinking about you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. has me wondering. Thought that I had figured it out. Nothing could get through to me, but this kind of chemistry has me wondering. When you're not around it, all goes black and white. How come I'm not seeing in color? Lost without you, I can't make it through the night. How come I'm not seeing in color? How come I'm not seeing in color? So far gone.
One, two, three, four. Oh yeah. Oh man, would you look at me? You're just another one-hit wonder. That's what everyone sees. Ain't it funny how you wanna be the best, but you can't even get up and get dressed? Wasted, face it. You're never gonna make it. Rockstar, you won't get far. And I know you're confused. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Oh man, what a lie, what a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield, 1974. I think I'm going insane. I'm feeling crazy. Can't get it out of my head. Oh no, if the devil inside takes hold, then I just might wind up dead. Wasted, face it. You're never gonna be the one. Rockstar, you won't get far, but at least you had fun. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be, a king or a queen, as long as you got a dream. Oh no, it's a lie, they just wanna take your life, try to tell you it's a battlefield. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be, wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. Oh man, what a lie, what a time to be alive. How have I survived? Life's a battlefield, 1974.
I seek to find is a world that's mine. Need a place to hide. Will you free my mind? Follow the light of a world that's blind. In your eyes I see there's a place for me. There's a place
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
We wouldn't want to leave you hanging. We still have so much more amazing NECC to go through today. And guess what? We did change it on the calendars now. If you go and check, it's not Tuesday anymore. That's old news. It's NECC Day. I'm Keg, and I'm joined by the one and only F. Dot, and we have ourselves Alvin Community College versus the Heston Larks. I'm excited.
Should be fun. I'm very excited to see how Division 4 has been going. It's been a fun sort of season watching the different levels of play. And Division 4 gets a lot of fun because your tier list is important. You got to know what's strong and you got to know what's weak. But as you kind of come to the more realistic ranks, you really just have to know what you're good at. Division 4, Division 3, a lot more about playing your own game rather than just regurgitating what your favorite YouTuber or what's going on in MRI, because you're so far, you're just in a different zone. And so a lot of times we get a lot of creative approaches. We just get different Marvel here. So I'm very excited to jump into our championships of Division 4.
I'm very excited. We had our Division 2 champions go very, very well, and it was very chaotic when it came to the group fights. I can only imagine it's going to be even more chaotic here. And to be honest with you, that's my favorite kind of Marvel. Our first side, though, we have Alvin Community College with Holy Mexican, Not Koi, Mythikaru, Mythikaru, okay, Lowbacks, Dazed Mushroom, and Chili. And then Heston Hawks got Sky Potatoes, Rousey 69, Tobias Max, KZ Cow Ninja, Rennet, and the Tanana. Ooh, I think that might be my favorite name so far, or at least for these two teams. I don't know if it's any Spooky Pete though.
I don't know. I'm immediately here for Holy Mexican. I like this one, and Dazed Mushroom also sounds fun. It definitely sounds like somebody you'd meet at a festival of some sort. So automatically here for it. But I'm thinking, I'm really hungry right now. Holy Mexican, Dazed Mushroom, and Chili. I mean, that sounds
a great
delicious.
meal right there.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Been there, done that. Love those kinds of meals. But we have ourselves a whole other kind of snack right up ahead of us. It's going to be our first map soon, and I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like because honestly, I have no idea what we're going to go for next. It's going to be a complete surprise to us. Oh, interesting. The voice
What's
of
that?
God just told us that it seems like we may have a minor delay because of the weather. What's the weather like for you right
Storm?
now?
Storm being played
Omega
the bottom four
Hurricane?
character? Dude, I'm so
They just ulted
upset
my
about
house!
Storm. She is one of the stronger characters in the game and bottom 4 of the playlist. Listen, if you want to have somebody rant about characters that are underplayed,
This
I
is
already
her
did my
revenge.
Iron Man bit. I'm here to do my Storm bit. Start playing, okay, don't start playing Iron Man, but start playing Storm.
Yeah, no, Storm is lit. She's super fun right now. We're just in such a poke meta and poke and dive where, I mean, she's just, there's not a lot of mobility in
She's
this
a
guy,
dive
no matter
counter.
what.
She's a
She
dive counter.
Is, but if you're playing Phoenix or, God forbid, somehow Elsa gets by in the draft.
Don't get hit.
It's tough.
Don't get hit.
Well, then they could have played Iron Man earlier then, right?
No, Iron Man's hitbox is the size of Montana and Idaho combined. You're just not allowed to do it. He's slow as anything else. Storm, on the other hand, svelte, queen, health back for hitting with the basic attacks in the wind zone. Ooh, love my queen.
She is my queen, my mother. It looks like the Omega Hurricane came by and maybe wiped one of the teams away. We'll find out after this break to see what exactly happened and if we even have games. We'll see you soon.
it cuts quite like a memory. Especially one that you're trying to forget. But I can't find the energy to rewind and reset. I know you don't wanna be used, but you use me too.
Nail by nail, floorboard by floorboard, we have rebuilt both of these universities that were blown away by all the high winds of that thunderstorm. It took a while. It was a massive effort. I don't know where you guys were, but we just got back from the construction site and we are ready to go, Mr. Dot.
I'm certainly ready to go. Should be fun one. Again, we're looking at Alvin Community College versus Heston Larks. And the roll of the dice brings us to Hydra Base. So that's what we're going to go domination style, round one.
That's right, back to Hell's Heaven again. If it's anything like we saw from Division 2 champs, there's teams that dominate inside domination matches, and there's others that get dominated in the domination matches. It really goes to show that whoever wins this one out is more likely to take on those defensive convergence roles much easier as we get into those second maps. But we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. We gotta see exactly what the bans are gonna look like, and starting with Groot tells me that Heston Larks may want to go for a very aggressive Punisher comp.
That's definitely one thought here. I think also this map is, I was surprised to not see Groot picked or banned in our Division 2 championships earlier. Groot specifically on this map punishes how small the areas of ingress are. It's just small doorways, and Groot can just like wall. So yeah, definitely something that I spent a lot of time thinking about. But across the way there is that Punisher that you were talking about locked in as the ban for Hell is taken down.
It's locked in for ACC. Interesting. So Heston Larks ban out the Groot. ACC lock in the Punisher in return. It's not bad from ACC at all, but I'm surprised.
Punisher's just a character that I think sits at the spot where, like, I'm not mad if you ban him because makes a lot of sense. Reliable supplemental damage. Sometimes hard to rely on the Punisher for final hits, but Frank Castle is always doing a bunch of damn. And then when the ult comes out, everybody got to run. So he's an impactful hero, not the number one guy that comes to mind. So protecting him because you want to play him, exactly where I think he sits right now.
So Punisher was reserved. Hela and Cloak and Dagger are banned out from ACC's side. Okay. I like the Moon Knight ban from Heston Larks. But the way things are going now, depending on what this final ban looks like, there could be a world where we have Elsa Gambit available for both teams.
Very true, very true. Off rip, looking at what ACC is doing here, the Hela ban, excuse me, is definitely a little suspect for what I'm about to say. But I see the Punisher, and I see the Angela protected. And what that says to me is that Alvin thinks that Heston likes flyers. Hela obviously does a good job against the flyers. Phoenix also does a good job against the flyers, but the Angela Punisher combo really punishes said flyers. So interesting to see both hit scans banned and then anti-flyers protected as well here for Alvin. But again, this is what I was talking about when we start talking about our Division 4 teams, is that it becomes less about the overall tier list, less about what Flats is saying, less about what Sentinels are playing, and more about how good are you and what's your god pool look like? What are you bringing to the battlefield here today? And so I look at the hit scan. Sure, but I'm looking at the Punisher being protected. I look at Holy Mexican on this Daredevil this time around, and I'm just asking, what are you good at?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the compositions right now from start to finish, Heston Larks, I like what they have being brought to their arsenal now. They have double shields with the hands of the Magneto and the the Emma. We have Strat Pool, which we don't get to see very often anymore. Triple strats, double vanguards, and only Tobias on the duelist. That's not a lot of damage.
It's not a lot of damage, but it's a composition specifically crafted against what Alvin has. In fact, I would say that Heston Larks are looking over the shoulder at ACC. Why? Because you've got Dive Angie, Dive Psylocke, Dive Daredevil into triple support, which counters Dive, and the Namor, which counters Dive, Emma, which counters Dive, and Magneto, not going to say he counters Dive, but he can turn around and put a shield. So everything that ACC has available to them, Heston Larks has an answer to. I love how they're leaving the base anticipating that, but that says to me, because don't forget, this is champs! We've been playing for months! They know who they're playing.
It's really going to come down to the shoulders of Sky Potatoes to find impact there, but both of your anti-dives are gone right away. Those are the biggest damage dealers that Heston Larks need to rely on before they even get to the point. That being said, though, BRB beacons out. Lowbacks did fall early on, and that's good, but Dazed Mushroom was finding so much impact. I'm enjoying what ZK Cow has been bringing to the table, though, themselves. I think the hit scan beam was great, but overall, these are just individual fights, and the cohesion for Heston Larks and the amount of staggering they have is making me nervous.
Great job on paper from Heston Larks. I'm going to double down on what I said, despite the fact that they lost the point here, because the execution was suspect. They ran up the right-hand side, and they got caught. We didn't get a chance to really see ACC kind of push forward or anything. Instead, they anticipated Heston Larks, or maybe they didn't. They just ran into each other off the point, and ACC were able to win the fight before Heston Larks really got set up. So, point to blue, 27 and counting up.
Yeah, the good thing here about having Holy Mexican is that you have the wall hacks from the Daredevil, and Dazed Mushroom can use the invisibility to get that hole in the defenses around. Case in point, Dazed doing a fantastic job for the poke. Could be maybe the chance to capitalize now and get point control. Heston Larks do have the advantage on point itself, but that percentage is still going up. DYA, the Cosmic Yarn, is out now from the hands of Not Koi. Doesn't last terribly long, but Dazed Mushroom is still playing around for poke. At this point, just waiting for that Dance of the Butterflies to come back up and play for the stagger.
No worries, I've got your back.
Not a lot of situational awareness there from Heston Lark's backline, but it do not matter. Dazed Mushroom gets ignored. And the rest of the team, for Heston that is, falls into place. So, low impact ult available for the Fishman, high impact ult available for the Diamond Lady. And Z-Cow Ninja, again, now defending the point, doesn't need to mash it as soon as it's available. Instead, we'll see the Emma hit it as soon as there are a couple of players grouped up here, walking onto the point. Now looks like it might be the plays. Diamond form to deal with the Daredevil, as Holy Mexican in the backline, making burritos out of the entire enemy team. One goes down, but Fear Magneto puts down a healer, and Daredevil in some trouble now.
Beautiful Meteor M coming out now from Rennett's side. It's a mess any which way you look. Heaven's Retribution is down, and Lomax does it again. Holy Mexican for the follow-up is looking pretty dang good, and Heston Larks, they got up to 54%, but now ACC, they've broken the tie, actually.
Cow Ninja not ulting there. Not sure if I love that call. The decision to hold it immediately because they were just going to dog down the Daredevil, I kind of like it, but Daredevil's really tough to kill, and we just saw that. So as soon as the Daredevil didn't go down, maybe I would have liked to see the Emma unleash the ultimate. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Ain't gonna cry over
no.
spilled milk, but there's dairy
Monstros.
all over the place.
No one's checking the Monstros from Tobias. They spot check the Daredevil. Instead, Dazed Mushroom using this opportunity as a distraction to run away. Could circle around, go for Dance of the Butterflies. Holy Mexican could have been there to help out, but unfortunately just overwhelmed. Everyone in Heston Larks playing as a team is making these dives incredibly inefficient because everyone can stick together. Horn of Proteus and once more Cow's ult still sticking by.
Rough positioning here from ACC kind of gave the point to Heston Larks, if you ask me. Not a lot of pressure provided, and ACC just had to walk off. So big ultimate in the pocket. Cow Ninja still has that psionic seduction available. And this time around, I want to see it used.
Oh, good ISO there against Tobias, forcing out utility. Daze from above. I would assume here Dance of the Butterflies will come out. A lot of ultimates all at once. Horn of Proteus is out. Daze is still looking for a prime opportunity. There it is. Case in point. Cutterfly is out. Only one body falls though, and the Daredevil, Holy Mexican, can find the follow-up, but unfortunately, the follow-up is not to be. Plenty of heals to go around with all the strategists still alive. On the point though, Heston Larks are at 99%. ACC will still have to fight for overtime though. They're at 97 themselves, and taking down two critical different players, that's going to be the majority of the damage dealers gone, including the ult wielder of who was recently ZK Cow. Mithru is good to remove everybody, and now it's overtime for ACC side. Portal? Can they come out in time? No. What a comeback.
Fantastic play here. ACC able to make it happen, and Daredevil able to make it happen. It's interesting, we saw a little bit of the interaction between the Magneto that I was talking about. Daredevil can't build Fury when there's a Magneto bubble out, and Mag's got two of them. One for me, one for you. And so anybody that Daredevil's going to be jumping on, the bubble comes out, and he's just kind of stunted for a second. And that's where you've got to make your move. You put out the bubble, you turn and burn. What we saw was one half of that. We saw the bubble, we didn't see the turn and burn. So the Daredevil was stuck at one Fury for a while, couldn't really go into the combo as a result. When the bubble fell, basic, cross up, see you later. The pressure onto the Luna, the pressure onto the rest of the team, the pressure onto the point, Bob's your uncle. So great job here from Holy Mexican. 9 above 3 with 4 assists. 2 finals for him. Dazed Mushroom has had like some of the more consistent damage here, Keg, but Holy Mexican has had the big moments of pop that have confirmed a lot of the points here for Alvin CC.
What I really like about this trinity of Dazed Mushroom, Holy Mexican, and Lomebacks is the fact that they can waste utility from Heston Larks very early. So those mag bubbles can come out, and that's huge. But the idea is you want to force those utilities out early on, so then you can go for the redive on one of those 3 players, and then with no utility available, that's when you rack everything up. We're starting to see that now with Dazed Mushroom, 44% off of all. Heaven's Retribution brought out by Lomebacks into this first fight, pokes away at Sky Potatoes once more. There's a reason why we're not seeing Strat Pool as much anymore. The healing output isn't as good as it used to be, falls to the wayside, and frankly, the Van Pool can find a lot more impact with a whole team wipe gone. Might be worth swapping over.
I wouldn't want to see the Van Pool here, but I am with you on the Strat Pool.
You need to have damage.
Exactly, and so I would, honestly, any of them. Give me an Atom, give me a Mantis, hell, give me a Cloak and Dagger even, and just run 3 primaries and have Luna become your off-angle float. So, true. Still, there are options. Not in love with the Strat Pool. You and I are definitely in agreement on that one.
Yeah, it's just so tough. You're putting a lot more pressure now on these 2 Vanguards to not only protect the triple strats in the back line against 2 divers, not including Angela, but the fact now that they have to do damage too outside of Tobias. I don't even see where Tobias is in this matchup. As great as Namor is, he's the hero I had the most hours on. He can be such good output, but when you have so much shields up against you and you're the sole damage output, it really negates what makes him so strong. Horn of Proteus could be good to make some distance here. I'd like to see that happen. Maybe now. Angela in the back isolates away and just totally disrespects Tobias.
Not really to find anything here. And honestly, listen, I'm a Namor enjoyer, and with some of the changes that we've seen earlier in the season, Squid, right click, left click. That's enough for a takedown. But unfortunately, Pabaya's not really finding any of the angles where that is allowed to happen. Horn of Proteus is a great look against the dive-heavy character, and with Daredevil down, this might be Heston Lark's first moment of opportunity to really turn things around and go pop.
Oh, but the Meteor M is out from Mystic's side. That's going to be fate of both worlds ended. Back to the apocalypse we go. Directly on to the point. Maybe we could see a cap. It's already at 99%. Bubble is out. Surrounded by the enemy. Mythic's already done a dang good job. It's okay to fall. But everybody else tries to make their way forward. It's EK Cow. I assume with a portal? Maybe not. I think they're already back on point. Holy Mexican is portaling himself too. Back into the fray with an invisible boundary. Heals galore. That's gonna help. But there's no ults for either team to work with.
Not at all. Dazed Mushroom now looking for the loop-de-loop around the corner. Beautiful use of the environmental here. Doesn't commit. Doesn't need to. Point earned. That's going to be round 1 and round 2 for the blue team.
Really nice work coming out from ACC. The fact that we saw the triple dive coming through from their side worked out well. The communication between the Psylocke and the Daredevil specifically helped break apart Heston Larks and make the fact that they were a very frontline heavy team pretty much negated from the very first fight.
Completely. Again, you know, we look at this, very rarely are games lost in picks and bans, but I think in this hero shooter, the way that it's built up, the game can be lost in the playbook. And I love to see the change to Loki here from Sky Potatoes, but I think it was a little bit late potatoes. Just, I'm down for the triple healer and I'm down for the Namor. I honestly think this might be one of the correct approach in quotes or capital letters. Is a little tough to really say. There are so many different options, but when you're getting dove by the Skylock and the Daredevil and the Angie, yes, I'm down for triple healers. Yes, I'm down for Namor, but the triple healers weren't the right triple healers, and Namor wasn't really finding the avenues, which might be brought to you by said triplet. So when it comes down to Marvel Rivals, a lot of it is head bone connected to the neck bone, and right here, I didn't really see much connection. So let's try again. The Loki might be a good look, but I'm really hoping somebody on that strat lineup has an Atom or has a Mantis, or maybe even the other direction. And Mr. Fantastic is crazy, but just the idea of like supplementing that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if we see a Mr. Fantastic, I will eat some sort of object on my desk because I don't think I've ever even commentated one before.
I'm DMing the teams right now.
Do it. But like, you know, his ult takes the longest in the entire game to charge up. Really not that good. Luckily though, maybe we could see Mr. Fantastic come through into the next matchup because we are moving away from domination. But overall, I think just being so headfast from Heston Lark's side, unwilling to make big changes in their lineups, just really hurt the team compared to, you know, the Psylocke and the Daredevil could do whatever they wanted from ACC.
Who knows? You know, definitely a lot of different approaches that we could have there. So, yeah, who knows? Big question mark for me as far as the next matchup.
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea. I mean, like you said, when it comes to like Division 2, Division 1, we can rely a lot more on the meta and what the teams at the top level of the Pro League are playing here to see probably what people are going to be playing. We just got word that the next match is Hall of the Jalia, so very interested in seeing if that's going to work out well for either one of these teams. But if we're relying on comfort picks, I don't know if Hall of the Jalia is going to be the #1 center if you being comfort central. So we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, when it comes to Hall of Jalia, it is a very open map in my eyes, right? When I look at a map and really start to dissect what makes this map better for a character A versus character B or whatnot, it's about arenas. I look at museum and we see long hallways, and so Poke does do well, but we also see a lot of nooks and crannies. So your dive characters have an avenue into the back line. When I look at Midtown or some of the New York maps, we see tall structures. So you can call up your flyers, like Ultron gets played at a high level and Storm gets played everywhere. Nowhere, but she should be. But those are the places, you know what I mean? When I look at Hall of Jalia, kind of open. You can play those long-range sight lines. There are some moments where you can flirt around with some flyers. You could also just TP to the back line and start brawling, baby. So many options here when we jump into Wakanda. So I like this map because this map is one of the more open for creativity. You get to see weird stuff. And guess what?
I love weird
I'm
things.
Johnny. I like weird stuff.
Okay. I like weird stuff too, and honestly, look, if I'm ACC, I'm sticking with the same exact game plan, man. The Psylocke worked well, the Daredevil worked. If I'm ACC, I'm banning the Daredevil. I'm keeping that Psylocke open. The problem, though, is that, again, you're banning the symptom, not the disease itself.
Yeah.
So if you ban that Daredevil, you're looking at it like a Wolverine instead.
And there is a large difference for what it's worth. If I am Heston Larks, I am banning the Daredevil. I'm more afraid of the Daredevil than I am afraid of the Groot, or I'm banning the Psylocke, either or, because I'd rather deal with the Wolverine than the Daredevil. I'd rather deal with the Wolverine than the Psylocke. It's a slightly different game plan. It's more about displacement than it is dismemberment, and it's more about tank killing than anything else. And for the rest of so slightly different, and I am making those moves. That said, not going to happen here just yet.
Punisher again for the reserve, something ACC never ended up playing. That's going to be their safety pick in case this dive composition doesn't work. That's completely fine. I think, again, Djali is one of the best Punisher maps in the entire game. Long funnels. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of flyers oftentimes for both sides. So fun to knock them down with pun. I don't know if we're going to see it, though.
Definitely a large question mark, unsure. ACC continues to ban out hit scan after hit scan after hit scan, which I think is a great nod. So again, just speaking plainly, much love to all of our teams here, and for what it's worth, I'd be like Division 6, so I'm not slinging anything here. But Division 4, you're definitely not as traditionally skilled mechanically as some of the higher up divisions. What does that mean? It means that things like hit scan are scary because that's just raw mechanics, and you might just have one of these players that can just click heads. And if you know that your team is not equipped for that, and you know that your team is much better at doing the dive, then just take it off the board, dude. You've got the one Punisher, which is definitely a character on the hit scan world that can be a little bit more forgiving, and you take care of the characters that are a little bit scarier in scarier hands. So A+ here. Love this approach here from ACC, and they're going to make Heston Larks' life just a little bit more difficult. The healing lineup for them had a little bit to be desired. Who looked good? Luna Snow. Ban it. See what they do.
Curious to see what this final ban will be. ACC are 1000% telegraphing their dive comp again. Rocket's so good for the long-range heals. BRB also allows these divers to overheat and go for risky plays, and if it doesn't work, you just go back into it. Moon Knight banned out. We saw that from Heston Larks before. It's a great way of CCing teams and controlling the front line. I think they're still missing the big game plan for ACC side. Focusing again on anti-Vanguard's good. The problem is that's not the main issue with ACC, is that, you know, they're destroying the back line.
I would agree here. I think Moon Knight is a great character. Listen, huge to identify your team, your team's game plan, your team's skill level as well. I don't like to necessarily see Moon Knight be banned a lot of the time because you can counter Moon Knight by just proper positioning. But at this level of play, you're holding your hands a little bit more. You're closer together a little bit more. So identify that, hey, our team likes to play a little bit grouped up, look at our compositions, and by taking the Moon Knight out, you definitely turn things around. But I heard you, Keg. There's a lot of stuff to be looking at here. What are you interesting about? Because I'm also interesting.
Well, hold on. What's Holy Mexican Days actually going to go for here? Because they had the Elsa, they had the Punisher. They would melt the front line no matter what. But, oh, they are going to go back to it. And they're portaling into the back line. This is going to serrate open Heston Larks.
And it's certainly going to punish this long-range Hawkeye. That's a sniper character. And by portaling to the backside, you really kind of prevent him from doing what he wants to do. Still will be able to get some range, but not that long-range sightline that you're looking for out of the bow and arrow guy. So Tobias Maximus might be minimized as the rest of the squad pushes into the sniper. And just like that, Tobias pressured. Big heals, though, keeps him alive.
big heals, but again, you're looking at the damage from Heston Larks, and it is lacking. You need to get that impact out now. Just like Namor, you get a lot of chunks of damage off, but the strategists for ACC's side have been on point. They are doing such a good job keeping everyone alive despite the huge amounts of damage out. There's no consistent damage. Turret
Not
blasting away. I like this though. Maybe if you could just get one pick and break the Sam open, and there it is. That's the Rogue to fall. And Rogue has struggled after this recent patch. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mythic swap off of that relatively soon. There it is.
The rest of Alvin's gonna fall here, yeah. Not a terrible shout, but the portal definitely being put in the ground here. Only Mexican and Chili Fox will be able to walk around, and right away Karu swapping off of that Rogue onto the Cap. Like that choice. Talked about the crowd control changes a little bit earlier. And Rogue wants to push into the back line, and that's not really what ACC have going for them. Captain America, on the other hand, wants to distract and disrupt the back line. Good Cap players don't even care if they get the takedown. They just want to distract. So, Faru, we'll see how it works out.
And that was Lobach's job back on Hell's Heaven. The fact now that these two players have swapped their Vanguard roles means that their timings will be slightly different. Agamotto is out now from the hands of DK, and that's going to eliminate the majority of the front line, and frankly, the majority of Alvin Community College as a whole. That's another team wipe.
4 ults available here for Heston Larks. Tanana, Tobias, Rainit, and Krause. So 2 support ultimates, 2 large stop signs, and honestly, the Hawkeye ultimate also functions as a stop sign. Everybody got to run away. Cyanic Seduction is more of a lure them in and take them down, so I'll say a green light more than a red light. My point, Heston Larks, they got a pocket full of stinkies, all the tools in the world. Alvin's going to have a hard time walking in here with 4 ults.
Well, they've also been built up from ACC as well. Final Judgment could melt down the majority of this team if it's played correctly. You have anti-stun as well. But where is it? Nothing's been brought out yet. Lomax had Agamotto, but he's already KO'd.
The full reset here for Alvin. They got about a minute on the clock, so I like the choice for the full reset. Wait for the Kagamoto and see if it works out. Chili Fox is actually going to hit the gas a little bit early, and Karu on the backside, Dazed Mushrooms hits go as well. This has to be the moment for Alvin Community College.
Yeah, there's really no other point after this. Final Judgment's out, Freedom Charge, Eternal Bond, all creating just a little bit of space, and I don't even think that Punisher ult got a KO. Lombax needs to bring in this Agamotto right now, and he does. Regeneration Domain from Sky Potatoes saves the day and ensures the Heston Larks will not be falling just yet. Invisible Boundary found just in time after Sky Potatoes has his domains fall. There's another portal that comes out. That's going to help. An Invisible Boundary once again. Lombax comes in with a punch, and all of ACC take down Heston Larks and all but guarantee their way to the convoy of convergence.
That's a point taken. Wait, portal's already out here. Doesn't matter. Easy. Well, not easy at all. Arduous.
That was surprisingly
but eventually
difficult for
earned
ACC.
here. Yeah. Big defense coming out from Heston Larks.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Heston, though. They had Sky Potatoes still on that Loki. I think the Regeneration Domain and the backline heals helped out immensely in those fights. DK Crown, moving away from the Emma from last map, now into the Strange, I think is great for more front stage pressure. I'm still not a big fan here of the Hawkeye. I think it can find more elevation potential here, and, well, there you go. Eat my words. Tobias taking down Karu early on. That's the Captain America, and the backline control decimated. You have to look more at the front line now with these double hit scans to find that pressure.
Thinking about it, I think I echo a little of your reservations about the Hawkeye, despite a little bit of success here or there. The Apex Predator shows up. Not much doing, but it creates enough space for the team to make their way down this avenue. This hallway can be a little bit tough as the offensive team to make it here.
Oh,
and then once you
no.
hit this turn corner, that's a good spot to play defense for Heston Larks.
Chili Fox has to be so careful here on this Eternal Bond. You're going to use that as a way to move forwards, but Tobias takes down Dazed Mushroom the way I thought Chili would fall next. Invisible Boundary use first. Counters out Hawkeye's ultimate. That's going to work out well. And this is all pre-planned to ensure that Chili Fox, well, in theory, should have survived enough to use ult, but I guess not. Okay.
Panic Seduction used here on defense from Rainit. Archer gets a little aggressive. So down goes Tobias. Shouldn't have been up that far anyway. And just a hair in front of the point. 40 seconds on the clock tag. Honestly, Heston Lark's playing good defense, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I think the verdict is still out here. Tobias Maximum, again, is that player I'm looking out for. I think his Hawkeye has been good, but I don't know if that's the answer you're looking for. Having the Wolverine into the fray is going to change up exactly how ACC is approaching these attacks. That's going to change how the Hawkeye's effectiveness comes out. But once again, Crown Ninja, the cleanse into a melee, Sky as well. Heston Larks finding so much success on this defense. That's game. That's the first half.
Count Ninja absolutely earned this one for the squad. We'll deal with a little bit of overtime, and a portal will come out in time.
There was
so
enough
Lombax
time?
jumps on in here. Yes, Karu's already on the point.
Okay.
Halfway done with OT, but they are not halfway done with the game just yet. Adam falls and the Wolverine falls. 2 more takedowns as well, and
I like Daze's approach here. That's good. Turret finds one. Almost a second, but couldn't touch on point. Pretty good teamwork overall from ACC. Wish the Wolverine had come out earlier. Very rarely is there an instance where you see someone swap off the Elsa because they weren't finding effectiveness, even after the nerfs.
yeah, I mean, definitely. I think in a world where there's a giant strange shield, Elsa does have a little bit less effectiveness, even despite some of the gimmicks in her kit. It's definitely a world that makes me a little suspect of the Hawkeye. However, we did see a couple of those dinks, 23, 3, and 2 with 12 final hits. I'm not going to argue against it. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where as we immediately see them swap off and think twice about it. This is a world where really you just feed the hot hand. You play what you are feeling, and your individual prowess is more important than adhering to the tier list or the meta or whatnot. So we definitely have that in mind. Tobias swapping over off of the Archer onto the Fishman. But you know who I'm looking at. You know exactly
I do.
who
You're
I'm
looking at Mother.
I am holy Mexican. Taking out the Aurora. Tough to play her into some of these choices, but let me be this guy. The Spider-Man, not going to be committed to, but Storm is a Spider-Man counter.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Heston Larks keep setting themselves up expecting ACC to go for that same dive comp that they had back on Hell's Heaven. Genuinely surprised that we're not seeing it again. I thought maybe after the Wolverine swap in the last 30 seconds on their first side, the fact that they started finding some success in that last team fight before they fell, we're just going back to the square one. And I don't know.
Storm, one of the lowest play count characters in the game, 4th from the bottom. But look at all the damage she's able to provide to her team. Obviously, big boost here. The PB/AoE popping out as well. Sky Potato's going to be safe and sound after a little bit of Loki swap. So first push in from Heston Larks, kept at bay. Denied with pretty much nothing used. Lombax already has that guard pool available. And Mythic Karu on the big man, Dad Nito. I like this composition. Like memes aside about how much I like Storm, I like this comp. The Storm is going to boost the Punisher into a more traditional damage dealer. Front line looks cute. Back line looks cute. ACC is a great front-to-back composition.
Yeah, as long as the Storm can keep afloat, I like this composition too. Heston Larks, though, every opportunity under the sun to go for counterplays. I'm expecting hit scan to come out pretty soon. Haven't seen it from Tobias yet, though. He hasn't been opting for the hit scan. Monsters might be effective against this toolless comp that ACC have. That's what I'd be worried about. But overall, we're seeing a lot of different avenues attempted from Heston Larks to get past Daze Mushroom. It finally works out with this Punisher falling. I expect soon the mid lane, the back line to fall relatively soon past these ults. Invisible Boundary brought out. Omega Hurricane really needs to make an appearance around the time this Eternal Bond goes away.
Storm finding those piercing basics. Not a great look. Wrong stance, caught out. See you later on the Storm. But everybody else has an ultimate available for Heston Larks. The push in from Rainit is going to be fantastic as Tanano drops down the carpet. and does not get dropped. Great positioning out of the shield from Rainit. The Emma is out of control. And while a couple players in red jerseys still stand on the point, that's a fleeting thought as Heston Larks swarm over and a portal's being thought about.
Portal open. Daze likes to go for the turret off of this, the hunt for the squishies. This could work out well. Doctor Strange goes in, not close to Agamotto. However, invisible boundary, contingency plan if we did see this come through. Absolutely working. Case in point. DK Cow, Agamotto would be devastating up against ACC in this final play. Almost 1 minute left before we could see overtime come through. Final judgment underway. The hands, though, of an Eternal Bond with Sky Potato's Loki Ultimate's going to work out pretty dang well, but unfortunately through the ult, not going to be enough for the team. ACC losing players left and right. Tobias once again making things work in spades with a double KO.
Impossible call here for Holy Mexican. The team needs to swap over. Ooh, that one I don't know if I like. So Holy Mexican on the Storm gets about 90% of the way to the ultimate, has to swap to the Doctor Strange in order to portal the team through, and that's a must happen. But you lose your Hurricane ultimate completely. Then 100% you're charged up Eye of Agamotto, swap back to the Storm. I would have liked to see, listen, I know you're playing the Duelist, I would have liked to see the Eye of Agamotto used here by Holy Mexican. Instead swaps back over to the Duelist and now halfway to an ult one more time. Just feels like a lot left on the table.
Yeah, I completely agree. Definitely a panic swap there, just having any sort of ability that you can. But very easy trek for Heston Larks. They don't have to worry about much, it seems. They're pretty close to getting to that yellow ping at the end. Rennett's close to getting Sonic Seduction. Holy Mexican close to the Omega Hurricane as well. Could be good to use in contingency, maybe with Chili Fox and the Eternal Bond, but we did see this invisible boundary used before as the intro and then Eternal Bond after. We just need a way to create that space or an ACC's chance to deny it as much as they can.
Holy Mexican has the ultimate available. Once pop, will demand a response from one of the support ults, which there are two there. And so here it comes, and it's them against the world. Actually, it's going to be both.
Whoa. Through the ult, too. That's impressive. Regeneration Domain was on top as well. Agamotto, a flurry of ultimates into a cleanse. That's going to be one major power player for ACC gone. I'm looking at Meteor M. That doesn't connect. But the invisible boundary continues on, and Heston Larks are creating all the space necessary. A change that I've wanted to see for a little bit now from these teams. Holy Mexican going to the Star-Lord. Very reminiscent to how we were seeing the Psylocke back in Game 1. Look for the poke and play for the ultimate. This Galactic Guardian is going to work so well against Heston's comp.
Little bit of a misplay here from ACC where they double support ult, only bringing it up because it didn't matter. They still wind up winning the fight despite that fact. And Heston Larks now, Tobias, not an impact, eaten up as Dazed Mushroom answers with a defensive Punisher ult. So under a minute to go here, and the point has been moving backwards this entire time, Keg. One more time, Alvin find themselves up a creek, but they got a paddle.
Where's Holy Mexican? Because his percentage has not gone up. Hello? Oh, we're thinking it's a bug. But I haven't even seen him in the server. Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a bug.
Oh, Eye of Agamotto not successful there.
No.
Waiting it out. Tobias falls again. Those Hawkeye, a bit of success early on, but now having some struggles for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So many different things to aim through at once. Shields directly onto the convoy, making things difficult. Four ults to work with, though, for Heston Larks to create that space. You have two Eternal Bonds that Sky Potatoes can use with the help of Katana. And look at Invisible Boundary. You're looking at three strategic ults that can find so much impact now. Plus, even then, Psionic Seduction and Nagamoto. Heston Larks have everything they need to close this out.
That has to be a giant moment here as Tanana pops the ultimate and Meteor M negates it. Beautiful play there by Mythic Karu. That's exactly why you draft that character. Support ult tanked. And the overtime will tick down. ACC trying to play for their last team fight of the moment. Karu again. And Lombax shows up, provides an assist. And ACC are one game away from taking the championship.
I gotta say, 90% of that matchup was Heston Larix. I think they had the better team composition, they had the better positioning overall, but ACC, when it matters most, they show up and they know how to take individual picks that make a big difference.
100%. And you know, ACC are doing the same thing in game 2 that they did in game 1, and we'll see what the rest of the series holds, but they don't necessarily look they don't necessarily look super cute when they have the ball, so to speak. On offense, they fall just short of that secondary point. But then when it's time to sort of like match, it doesn't really, what I'm saying here is it doesn't matter if they get 98 points and you've got to match it, or if they get 9 points and you've got to match it. They're good at making sure you don't match it. And that's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch. And I gotta say, ACC are one of the few teams we've seen so far in really any of the divisions that radically altered their play style off of a win to throw an enemy team off the loop. They went for double dive back on their first domination match. Convergence, I thought for sure we would see the same dive prowess. We didn't. We saw Elsa Punisher instead. And although the results were not perfect, the Punisher Storm combo did work well for the defense. That's still very radically different. There's really not much you have to adapt when it comes to game 3.
I mean, my biggest deal here is that they adapted to the map specifically, and that's exactly what I asked for specifically here in Division 4. You've got to take every little inch given to you, make it a mile. Alvin did that. Fantastic performance by ACC.
Absolutely. And of course, that's our second game. We're going to be waiting as we go into a third. Don't go anywhere, though. Our players are getting ready, and so are we. We'll be right back.
Sometimes I lack the bravery, 'cause I know I fear the end. One day we'll see a victory. Carry on until the sun will shine. To break me down. How does it feel? How does it feel to knock me around? Oh, I'll make a sound. Oh, I'll make a sound. Until I hit the I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain. I got memories that run through my veins. I'm not one to blame, but I could point out every way that you changed. Some things stay up while others go right down the drain. And lately we've been going down in flames. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in nirvana. if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I want you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm my therapist is saying that I should. I don't believe it, but I really wish I could. Instead, I guess I'll stay misunderstood. Oh, 'cause I'm stuck now, just trying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow down, and I don't know if I want to. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire. But if I'm honest, I get in my feels when I want you. Say you feel it too, I'll haunt you. Hold on till I'm lost in the fire.
You'll still have common days. Get caught in traffic during your commute. Overthink a text message. Get a song stuck in your head. This is not one of those days. A few weeks a year and you'll discover the most uncommon time of your life.
We may potentially only have one match left when it comes to the Division 4 Championships of NECC. I'm Keg, and I'm joined by F. Dot once again. We have ourselves our uncommon traits. Mr. Dot, you have created a work of art. Take it away.
Yeah, shout out to our friends over the National Guard. Uncommon traits are what makes it work out. As far as ACC, for them to work out, don't sweat the small stuff. Listen, some of the first jumps, some of the first hits you've had haven't been super great. I don't care, and you shouldn't either. The defense is strong. Trust in yourself. Bang. Trust in your vision. Oddball comps. Who plays Storm? You play Storm. Believe in yourself and stick to it. And then strength in numbers. You got to just team up and scheme up. I don't really care looking at some of these compositions, how you're spreading the floor. Not what Alvin wants to do. They like to play concentrated. They like to coalesce on the point, and it's paying off.
Absolutely. And of course, strength in numbers, the last one for ACC. It's working out well. Play for these group fights. Take away numbers from the enemy team. We know that Larks like to play for ult fights, grouped up fights, big fights overall. Make that not a possibility. Let's go over to Heston Larks and see what they got. Play counters. Absolutely. We saw so much from Heston Larks that looks so good on paper, but when you have double dive up against you, a flyer and a punisher up against you, sometimes the Hawkeye and the Namor are good. Sometimes they're not.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, sometimes you are the pitcher and sometimes you are playing defense. And that doesn't necessarily mean ideally you're playing proactively, but it's not over if you're playing reactively, and that's what Heston Larks has to do. They've got to react to the oddball compositions that are being thrown at their way. Ults aren't the only way in. Play in the neutral. And don't get frustrated. I feel like I saw a little bit of frustration, especially towards the end of that last one. Individuals trying to make hero plays, a lot of mellow ball, so to speak. Listen, you are just not Kobe. You gotta play as a team. It's 6v6, not 6v1, v1, 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 v1. I can see that frustration. The finish line isn't a marathon away. You can make this a sprint. Trust in yourself and bring us to a game 4.
Let's see what happens here. Group ban, Hella ban out. What are the first reserves going to be? ACC, they like the reserve Punisher first. For Heston Larks, it's changed a little bit, but the Cloak and Dagger has remained a constant for these last 2 games now.
Yeah, the Cloak and Dagger just real strong. Heston Larks, we just said don't only play for the ultimates. However, I think C&D is one of these characters who can just sort of break open the wall. Now, credit to ACC. The Magneto play is fantastic. We saw a number of Meteor M's kind of take out the Cloak and Dagger mid-Eternal Bond. So there's that. Play closer to it, but I'm never going to be mad about a C&D.
There we go. Hawkeye ban. ACC felt like it was worth it. Gotta say, a little surprised that Hawkeye was banned out here. I think Heston Larks, they looked good with Tobias on the Hawkeye. It was definitely the strongest I think they've looked. But the fact that we saw them start to relegate towards them more towards the end shows that maybe there's not a ton of confidence in the Hawkeye anymore. I'm surprised ACC dedicated a ban to it.
I think that's a little bit of getting lost in the numbers. A lot of times you look at the scoreboard and you're like, 23-2. Oh my goodness, the Hawkeye's going ham. And like, was it? Like, what was the impact actually? And so I think it's frustrating getting one tapped, dinked from across the map. That sucks. Been there, done that, got a t-shirt. But if you zoom out and take your eyes off of the scoreboard, get away from that thought process, and you look at actual impact, not super high up. Either way, ACC wants to take it off the board. There they do. The Magneto protected by Larks, and wait a second. No, ACC's Magneto was the one that was farming. Interessante.
Okay. Well, Emma has been reserved. ACC find it important as well. I agree with that. I think these shields have done wonders against the high-hitting but slow fire rate that Heston Larks have been employing as their duelist this entire time. Another uncommon trait. Heston Larks just have more consistent, faster damage. Maybe go for a Punisher of your own. Go for Phoenix. Something that with a faster fire rate than two of the slowest fire rate duelists in the game. I think would do Heston Larks wonders.
I mean, anything really. Like at this moment in time, try new stuff is my fourth unofficial uncommon trait for sure. Because we've seen some things that almost work, some things that kind of get there, some things that are pretty good, but I want to see things that work, that get there all the way, that look great. So turn up, play some new stuff. We're getting the Phoenix out here, banned in the previous two last ones, so now available as some of the hit scan has been given some wave space. So over here on Museum,
oh my,
a lot of things succeed here.
For a second we saw Holy Mexican have Human Torch. Oh boy. I really like this composition from ACC. I think Holy Mexican worked wonders on Daredevil back on Hell's Heaven. This is a perfect opening stage for the Daredevil to find hidden corners around. Dazed Mushroom, also great about finding maneuverability. Even with someone with slow impact, or slow speed I should say, like Punisher, this could work out phenomenally for the attack.
I usually like a more gas pedal off tank than Emma. Emma I look at as like a more defensive oriented off tank, but with the amount of space that Heston Larks are giving ACC, you don't even need to bully your way out of this starting zone. So already due to positioning, Alvin Community College doing a good job of getting here, and Holy Mexican doing a bad job of piloting to the back on that Iron Fist.
Yeah, unlucky there, trying to climb the ceiling and a fade capture. It doesn't work out well. Holy Mexican swaps to the Winter Soldier.
Yes, good call.
Good call, sure. I really thought that Daredevil would have a longer impact than 0 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, some of these hallways are a little tough to find your way with the flank. Holy Mexican tried to go the high round, absolutely just got busted. And so the Bucky comes out, offensive prowess. You can see Dazed Mushroom just chunking with the shotty. Great play here, and that's that W key that I was looking for. Just hit forward. ACC not even looking for the takedowns necessarily, just the pressure, and it's working out.
Yeah, this is working out phenomenally, breaking all the shields that has Tau available. Psionic Seduction and Song Inferno. Direct hit, nothing from the hands of Eternal Bond. Gonna have to thank our lucky stars for Chili Fox there. That is a meltdown for ACC.
You cannot hurt me.
I am ready to
First
nice
point.
try, Karu.
Yeah, that's my analysis. First point, baby. Huge. Don't like that.
Okay.
Miscommunication here. Support ult thrown. And as a result, that will have reverberations, not just through point number 1, but point number 2. No Luna Snow available, Luna Snow ult available, or Luna Snow as she's now staggered out. Triple healer. So you do have Tananana and Krause. Well, the team will be able to stand up, but limping a little bit for sure.
Yeah, maybe glass half full could be now. Haru has to think about using Meteor M on maybe a less worthwhile ultimate like the Invisible Boundary. Not to say that it's useless, but taking down a Fate of both worlds would be pretty nice too. Days Mushu has to watch out though. Plenty of people all throughout these different buildings. Eternal Bond is out once again, and the Meteor M is dedicated, but not for the right player. That's gonna be Tanana finding impact on the Eternal Bond still, but taking down 2 different players. That's the best case scenario for that overused ultimate from the Luna Snow.
You hate to see it. Alvin just on Planet Zeptune, man. For real. Just driving it home. And this is the frustration a little bit. You know, much love to the Larks, but they do seem a little disjointed here. I could just see the frustration. Final Judgment coming out here. Hit the button, big man. Instead, Punisher falls down.
I think it's worth noting, too, that you have triple strategists, but unfortunately, players are still falling very quickly. At some point, you have to move away from the triple strat comp. It's not working.
Worth noting.
You need double duelist, man.
Yeah, and I do think that this is a step backwards, because worth noting, the flank Luna is real. Do some math and compare and contrast her to the Hela, and you will be unfortunately surprised at just how devastating Luna damage can be. It's kind of disgusting, to be honest with you. So flank Luna, it'll show up, and you will lose games to it in ranked, I promise. The strat pool, straight up and down, I think the Luna Snow is a better pick than the strat pool, but ultimately, much ado about nothing. I think you're correct, Keg. Bring me the Damahe. Nothing's dying. I need more damage here.
Either go damage or triple Vanguard. I think both of those would do Heston Lark's wonders.
Sure.
Because right now, the back line is just so exposed. Ensong Inferno's out. Again, completely evading the Vanguards in the front line. To be fair, though, that was Heston Lark's ultimate, so I take back what I said. That's going to be ACC having themselves open more. Visible Boundary is out now. You have a Psionic Seduction. I think the ult cycling for ACC is looking pretty sound. Curious to see when this Final Judgment will come by. I imagine it'll be the next group fight at this point, because that is going to be an ACC teardown yet again, and they're just about ready to get the P3.
Yeah, again, this is just sort of a core competency of, honestly, usually what we see on the defense, but I suppose it does apply to the offense when the dominoes are just falling as they are. If you're able to take down these players with your primary fire, why use the ult? You know what I mean? Just save it for a rainy day. And it ain't raining yet. Daze Mushroom being pushed back now as the enemy responds. Yelling down the hallway is the Emma. A little bit of help from Magneto prevents his teammates from being completely seduced. Great bubble on the defensive end will save the life of ZK Cow Ninja. But Daze Mushroom still has button. When does he push button?
Oh, but using a bubble on another Vanguard, that's rough. You have so much HP, and there's 3 strats that should be there to heal up, and they were alive. Eternal Bond is out. Daze can have to hold off on the Final Judgment some more. Krause's forced to utilize Invisible Boundary, not as a counter to the Punisher ult. I'm getting nervous now. A lot of great anti-ults from Heston Larks now expelled. They won't be back anytime soon outside of Tanana. And Song Inferno likely to be used as a denial tool. Probably be used momentarily. Invisible Boundaries back out. And Daze Mushroom needs to think about using his ult right now.
Rain does have an answer, though. If big guns come out from Daze, then Rain goes ahead and pops the meatball, absorbs it, and smacks him in the face with the Meteor M. So definitely something that Alvin's thinking about holistically. Lombax is going to go ahead and open up the door by screaming down the hallway. Tobias grabs one, but Mushroom grabs one. The double un for the Punisher, and Frank brings out the big guns. Shield protects him for the moment, and the Meteor M goes out on the left-hand side. Players have to scatter as a result. Dazed Mushroom falls down as soon as he's done his job, and the point stops one more time.
Portal's out though. That's Heston Lark's side. Can that be enough to help things out? There's still a minute left on the clock, and there's almost no distance ACC have to make. But the Devil's been let out, and this is a playing field for Daredevil himself. Everyone's taking damage. There is another ult on the ground. That will be one side's eternal bond. The problem, though, is that it benefits Daredevil himself. That's a free run forwards. Agamotto's out. That doesn't affect Daredevil. Everybody's finding KOs and a straight-ahead victory. Back to 3 points for ACC.
Love the way ACC did this. Dazed Mushroom handed off the offense to Holy Mexican. As soon as the Punisher unleashed the ultimate, there was a response from the Meteorum as we expected. Punisher was able to finish the ultimate, and that provided a little bit of scatter, but then you needed somebody to put a dot on the I. Who better to do so than the man that can't see? Holy Mexican shows up with the horns, brings it down, and just brings the game home. Absolutely love that selfless play from Dazed Mushroom and the rest of the team. Mwah! Chef's kiss.
It's been wonderful. I'm loving how ACC have been playing things out, and okay. Surely this is a troll pick, right?
The Spidey?
I'm not against it fully.
I am.
Look, it's
I
a
hate
change.
Spider-Man. I hate Spider-Man.
I know you do. I do too. But in this scenario,
30 seconds before you attack.
it's not
Get
terrible.
ready.
Good isolation. Oh no, not this. The triple duelist was fine. Triple strat with Spidey. You're dumping all of your heals in the Venom and maybe Psylocke. It's like half and half. But the problem now is that Psylocke and Spidey are gonna be fighting for health packs. Okay, this is slightly better. Now you're dumping all of your heals into just ZK Cow and Rain. So Tobias will have to be fishing for the health packs instead. This could work, but man, you just don't really have a lot of damage.
I mean, listen, at any point in time, you just gotta throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Again, this is really that frustration that I was talking about. Heston Lark's trying to show up against Alvin, and they're just getting smacked in the mouth. Just buckle down, man. Put the seatbelt on and hit the gas. This is still winnable. You've got 2 more games to play with. Just lock it in.
Look, if there's anything I've seen from Museum of Contemplation, there's teams that get spawn held on the attack and the teams that don't. I'm happy that we're seeing a different entrance come through. I think oftentimes teams will tunnel vision and just go for the same one over and over, and that's the one that gets spawn held the most. This upper angle's interesting, but this team, like, they're fragmented. DK tried the dive in, didn't find the success, chooses the dive in again. The whole team is on this guy, man. Oh no.
Dazed Mushroom is the one carrying the ball for the whole meat of the conversation. Right now, Rainit finds his way onto the tank, which the game would have been unwinnable with just a Venom Vanguard, full stop. So Rainit shows up and turns this from what seemed a little bit, in my honest opinion, a little bit silly, a little bit oops, a little bit we went a little too far, and now we've got a possibility of something. Still don't love the triple healer, but sure, this is doable now.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. The solo Psylocke is the silly part to me.
Agreed.
But like, if
less
it was
silly than the.
If it was solo Venom, Psylocke, another duelist, and triple strats, yeah, all right, I'll take it. I'd rather it be just 2 strats at that point, and maybe 3 duelists, or really anything else. It's just that your strategists are so exposed, they can't even heal the Psylocke because they're not going to be playing the front lines. You're dumping all these heals into Venom who can't protect the strategists.
Beautiful protect. Oh my goodness.
You're just like you're a distraction, but where's the follow-up? The strategists have to attack. They're the ones doing the damage here, man.
Nice shot there.
Yeah, it was good. There goes Tobias again. Oh, please swap off the Psylocke, man. Oh, but they have ult. They can't. Oh, that's so unlucky.
Psylocke is slippery enough to play as a solo Deeps, in my opinion. She can be slippery, find a knockout here or there, find the backside, and then go ahead and just ult farm. Against the Namor, probably not going to be good, but, you know. Again, throw it at the wall and see what sticks. 50 seconds left on the clock. We'll see how it
I
goes.
like this though. Going for the Phoenix, a lot more of a traditional composition. This could certainly work out better for Hest and Larks now. They have the Emma there for additional damage and a way of creating the space. It might be too late. 30 seconds left on the clock. Spawn hold once again. Oftentimes, and you're going to hate me for saying this, we usually see a team default to a Mantis third strat here for the damage amp to get out of this.
That is accurate, but I hate you for saying it just because I hate you in general, Keg.
Oh, don't worry. I hate myself even more.
I'm just kidding. That was really mean. I love you, baby, so much.
I love you too, baby girl. The Sky Potatoes, Squirrel Girl. The Squirrel Girl's gone. Did they disconnect? Hello?
Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, that's that frustration I'm talking about. I honestly don't hate the idea of the Squirrel Girl here, and look at that.
Oh,
We've
Squirrel would be
broken the back
amazing here.
of the defense. ZK Cow Ninja on the front line, Doctor Strange. But the pillar comes out. Lombax is going to scream over the backside, just a hair in front of the point. We're counting down for overtime, and it's 5v6. Krause's invisible boundary falls down. Tobias Maximum on the other side trying to make it happen as well. And Tananana trying to make it extended one more time. Damage from ACC a little bit light. And here comes the Damahe from the blue team. Keg, I believe, will be able to confirm the point as all of these players come in like ants. And now we're marching.
Better get your teammate back. Come back, bro. We got this.
And that's how quickly these games can turn around, though. Like, in all honesty, like, just...
Oh, it's a glitch.
Insane.
Okay. I am
wonderful.
looking. Production, I am looking with my eyes. I do not see her.
Well, no, we're...
Okay. I trust production. They're saying they saw Squirrel Girl ult. I believe them. But
Big fish.
I hate to say this, dude. The second Hest and Larks had more damage than not at all. They look really good.
Yes, absolutely. The Squirrel Girl, listen, people like to meme, people like to mock, people like to make fun.
A triple duel.
Two things. It ain't dumb if it works. And Squirrel Girl does a ton of damage and punishes up close and personal people. Like, if you're gonna play Shotgun Punisher against me, then I'm gonna nut and I'm gonna throw my root and I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you with the rest of my kit with Squirrel Girl. Like, at the end of the day, she absolutely can frag out. Everybody thinks of her as just like, haha, you know, aim, throw it into a corner. But that's big damage. 120 damage per hit up close is devastating.
I have not seen this Squirrel Girl in the KO feed, dude. I think she's invisible. This is topsy-turvy, man. Sky Potato swamps to the Winter Soldier. Not only did they get past the spawn hold, not only did
There's the squirrels! There's the squirrels! I saw the squirrels! I saw the squirrels! She's there!
Where is she?
She's
Has she just
legitimately
not been
invisible.
KO'd?
She's legitimately invisible. But Karu, Tobias is not. Great
What?
shot here from the Magneto, able to take him down. Lombax switched over to the Eye of Agamotto, grabs the entirety of the team, stunned
They're on a
up,
timer.
gunned up. And all of those players eat it. 18 seconds and counting down. I don't think Heston has a portal. So they've got to walk up by themselves. 10 seconds and counting. Keg,
Inferno,
your
Inferno.
turn.
Inferno's got to bring it out, man. You got to do whatever you can to touch. No! Tobias falls! No one else has the speed to get back on. Overtime, they do land! At the very last second, Eternal Bond is out. It's up to Tanada to bring it home. There's a Meteor M. Final Judgment directly on top. A reverse Eternal Bond. All I see is purple. And through it all, a meltdown again. Tanada falls post-ultimate. And through it all, that yellow bar is slowly dwindling. A chance for a portal at the very last second. He connects. I can't believe it. But no, a sign of sadness, trying to make it through the portal and body blocked by the convoy. We have our champions. That's ACC.
Fantastic gameplay. Really enjoyed watching ACC and liked watching Heston Larks. Listen, they were a little frustrated at the end, at the beginning of the end, but they made a couple of swaps and they brought themselves mentally back into it. I saw the light. They saw the light. Unfortunately, just didn't shine as bright as they wanted to. Alvin, on the other hand, man, that was a performance. Again, it really is just about finding what you've got. That last map, they went all the way, but the first two, they struggled. This was a tight matchup. In these first two matches, they just were able to say, all right, we only made it 10 feet. We're going to stop them at 9. And I like that mentality. You know, earlier I talked about not getting frustrated. That's mental fortitude. Alvin Community College, that's mental fortitude. A1.
I really enjoyed watching ACC play. They've been one of the most fun teams I've seen in NECC so far. I like how they've gone for radically different play styles. Just about every single map we watched from them in this championship. They had flyers, they had dives, they had flanks, they had traditional duelists like the Punisher that found incredible value in every single one of those categories.
Yeah, different approaches, forcing the opposition to feel a little bit off balance. You know, are we coming from the left? Are we coming from the right? Are we coming from up, down? Who knows? Really, really fun and impressive to watch, bringing different things into play, like the Storm and Punisher kind of like interaction there, and then kind of trusting their gut to spin the wheel and do something different. Yeah, I'm just saying the same thing you said, but different, man. A+ to Alvin.
Hey, that's how essays are made, let me tell you. Speaking of which, though, NECC, colleges, schools, anything in between, this is the place to go to have yourself maybe start your pro league journey when it comes to games like Marvel Rivals and such. But did you know it's not just Marvel Rivals too? We have so much more. In fact, tomorrow, the national quarterfinals continue for both Rocket League and Counter-Strike 2. We will also have the Aurora lower finals series lower finals with the winner qualifying for the Forge Trials in San Antonio from May 14th to 17th. And of course, Thursday is League and Friday's Overwatch. So, with that being said, that's it for us for today, man. This was a really fun day. Great championships as usual.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Always love watching the culmination of our season here. Tons of games being played. And shout out to all of the students and the organizations. It's not just the people on the screen. Like, first and foremost, not just us. There's a village behind us, but there's villages behind each of these players and these schools too. A ton of people put on and put these clubs up, make sure that they have a place to play, and make sure that this is a spot where everybody can learn the lessons that we learn through sports, digital or otherwise. So much love to everybody for being a part over here at NECC.
And with that, that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.
Forge Trials is presented by the Army National Guard.
I'm stuck now, just dying to figure a way out. I've tried but can't seem to slow